Jack.
Yes, detective, as I said. My assistant Kevin shot himself in the back of the head as he was running away. Yes, I do know that's a strange way to die. Oh, he's in a coma. Oh, okay, whatever. Yes, I'm the only witness. Listen, detective, could you let me know the second he wakes up so I can so I can be there to greet him? Thank you, detective. Whew. Close. Come in. Oh, hey, guys. What are you guys doing here?
Hey, so sorry to hear about Kevin.
Yeah, man, it's terrible.
Kevin? Oh, yeah, Kevin, he got shot in the back of the head. I'm going to need a new assistant. Yes, it was very sad what happened to Kevin. I know I'll never be the same again. Hold on one second. Hello? What? I'm going to Poindexter Lounge? Yes! Forget Kevin, guys! It's time to party! Yeah! Going to Poindexter Lounge! Going to Poindexter Lounge! Going to Poindexter Lounge! Going to Poindexter Lounge! Go! Yeah! Cheers! To Kevin!
Get ready, get jiving.
It has been 4 weeks. 4 weeks since I've been live on air hosting. And it's been a long road to get from there to here. But finally, I can say, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and genders all across the spectrum, to Season 2 of Jivin With Jack Live here on the Poindexter Lounge as part of the Poindexter Pantheon. If that sounds rehearsed, it's because I've been rehearsing it for weeks. It's been almost a 2-month process. I am very excited to get to know all of you. And before some of you turn away, let me just tell you, Enosh will be here. We have a lot to talk about today. In fact, some news happened since I made the show for today. But we're definitely going to talk about the halftime show. I know Enosh has a lot of has a perspective about how people reacted to the halftime show, how they didn't like the music, or is there something else going on there? Plus, we are going to talk about Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, Jack, we've already seen 200 YouTube videos on that. Yes, you have gotten many opinions, but you come to Jivin With Jack, for the correct opinion, and that's what it's all about. Plus, the Oscars have a new host. I don't care. The only people who care about the Oscars are the people at the Oscars and Austin. We're going to touch on that briefly. Plus, rumor has it that Stone Cold Steve Austin will return to Wrestlemania. Why I think that's a cool idea. I don't think it should happen, but we'll talk about that too. Plus, some Lord of the Rings news dropping. While I think the trailer looks good, I am very skeptical as to whether it'll actually be good or not. But I don't do this alone. No. If this was Jivin With Jack, like literally just me, that's too much for the world. The world can't handle it. So it's time to bring in the man with the $1 million voice, my co-host, Austin Lean 316.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Finally.
We did it. We did it, man. We're here. It's been, like you said, it's been a month. It's been a month.
I know.
I don't even know what have I been doing? I don't even know what I've been doing for the past month on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
You have your show, and then you do work with Enosh. And then, like, for me, I was going stir crazy Tuesday and Thursdays, but I spent all that time learning how to edit. By the way, how do you like my background? I mean, I go with the 80s. That's Jennifer Beals Flashdance.
Look at you with the background, and
that's not even the worst one.
You upgraded, man. You're doing it all on your own now. You don't even need.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even need me or Kaden anymore. Look at you. You're all. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The show is officially Jivin With Jack. He's on his own.
I see a lot of oh my god, I see some familiar faces. I see all new faces. We'll say hi to all real quick. Poindexter Lounge, of course. Enosh will be joining us. Hairless Wookie is here. What's up, guys? Thanks for being here for our first episode.
Hold on. Let's take a second here. And
Okay.
let's get this thought in everybody's head. Chat, let's all get in the same mindset. What does a hairless Wookiee look like? And let's just take a second. That's got to be one of the most terrifying things. It's got to be like that scene from Monsters Inc. You know, it's like if the Wookiees come in, they just all gather. It's just all pink and stuff under. You're like, oh god, the hell is that? But no, continue. What's up, chat?
The beautiful Ray is here. I actually got to talk to Ray for the first time. She was backstage and I was backstage, but I couldn't get both of us on screen. I'm like a creep, like, hi, Ray, yeah, it's me. And she's like, who is that? I'm like, this is Jack. And she's like, who? I'm like, Jivin With Jack. Like,
Weirdo, stop me. Exactly.
Yeah. But like I was trying to get us both on screen. I couldn't do it. I had to show some. But here we go. Tarun Prima. Hey, what's up, lads? What's up, Tarun? How are you? Anthony Beltre.
Oh yes.
He's the one who had the best reaction when we did the reveal. Like he made when we did the show a couple of weeks ago that all of a sudden he's like, wait, Jack? And I was like, he remembers me and us. I am DL. Thank you for being here. I'm glad everyone transitioned over. I was like so worried everyone's be like, well, that's the end of Jivin With Jack, and like 20 years later they found out that we were here.
Right.
Thanks for that music was very specifically selected.
Yes.
Oh my god, I am not used to this many comments. Here we go. Anchorman. Nosh V, we're Egghead. Nosh, is he feeling eggheadic? He's gonna be here. Jared, so he changed his name, said this is more entertaining. Akansha Jalswal, what are your thoughts on the Wonder Twins? Yeah, so when I talk about other news happening, we are going to touch on the Wonder Twins because I am as excited for that as I am for Miss Marvel, which is not very much. But same time, Walter Armada can't have time to make Man of Steel 2. Yeah, some things don't change. So cringe. Yeah, how'd you guys like my dancing? Yeah. I was
dude,
I got to start off. I got to do it, and I wore that very unflattering sweater, which makes me look fatter than I actually am. And I was like,
you gotta look at that. You think that's bad? You should see the videos he sends me of him lip syncing while drunk. Oh man.
There is a video. Yeah. So let's just say I said when I was drunk one time, I sent Austin a video of me singing "That's What I Want" by Lil Nas X. Well, there is a skit coming up where I am doing that and unaware that the show has started. That's going to be in a couple of weeks. But Ryan Rivera, good to see you, brother.
Dude,
I'm so happy
Ryan Rivera's back. He's back. He was on hiatus.
And he's back as Batman.
Yeah, he's back and better than ever.
And I got 3 lights on me, baby. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Akansha says, I have a question for you. For me or for someone in the chat? You got to put names in there. Yeah, everyone's here. Wow, let's get jacked up. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And while we have everybody here in the chat,
Yeah.
guys, obviously, don't forget to like, share the show with somebody. All of this.
Yeah.
Look, there's so much stuff going on here at the Poindexter Lounge and stuff. If you don't like us, then you'll probably like something else here. So
yeah,
definitely subscribe, hit the notification buttons, tune in every week because we got some fun stuff going on.
We have a lot of stuff. Justin Hines says you have 50,000 voice, but
I agree. I think we can get me to 100K, Justin. I think I have a little bit more, at least 250,000 somewhere around there.
Yeah. Well,
Jack
that's kind of an inside joke between you and me because someone complimented you on your voice during a stream, and another person talked about how they didn't like their voice. It's kind of an awkward moment. So BlackRock, 316.
What's up? Yes.
Toronto funny, but where's the butt drugs? Oh, we have that type of skits coming too. We filmed. I want to thank my friends who they're gonna get shout out to the outro, but they helped me film these skits. All of them make me look like an ass because hey, why not? Anthony Beltro keeps saying hi. He keeps saying hi, and I'm like, hey, Anthony.
Hello.
I was gonna do something on Peacemaker, but I thought let's wait till Thursday to talk about Peacemaker because the last episode comes out Thursday night, right, or Thursday morning. So at that point, we'll either have seen it or we're gonna go see it. I will just say, if you want to know what I would say about Peacemaker, is that it's better than all the Disney Marvel shows combined. And next up, who's up? Who we go? Okay, we're at the bottom of the comments. Woo! Oh boy, oh boy. So I wanted to start with the Super Bowl, but I'm going to wait till Enosh gets here. I know you did a show last night talking about Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, but your boy Jack has questions because he doesn't know as much stuff. I don't know who this person is. Well, I know a little bit about the Illuminati, and I don't know who the girl is. She looks like who's the girl?
I believe that is a variant of Captain Marvel.
Oh,
I
she's a
believe
variant.
that is the what if was it her friend from the first Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau's mom? What if she became Captain
Well,
Marvel?
let's get to it. That's not who I'm talking about. Someone else that I think someone, according to New Rockstar, is going to be it. But here we go. Let's get to it. All right, let's talk about Doctor Strange. I know everyone has talked to death about it, but big thing, Professor Xavier is in this. Do you think it's a Professor Xavier from the X-Men timeline? Because the X-Men timeline to begin with is kind of screwed up it's kind of screwy anyway. But a lot of people thought that was his wheelchair. But obviously it's not because he had a very different looking wheelchair. But what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot of thoughts I have on that. Obviously, I mean, Patrick Stewart. I do think that it is the version from the Fox X-Men films. I think there's a lot of stuff in those movies that can kind of hint that he was a pretty powerful being. Even in those movies and the way that he communicates and his powers and stuff. So I don't think it's
that's what I'm talking about, America Chavez.
America Chavez, yeah. I don't think it's a far-fetched idea to say that, yeah, the whole time he was a member of the Illuminati. He had all of this knowledge. He knows about the timelines and stuff. I think
here's the thing about him, because like even with the original X-Men timeline, Days of Future Past essentially erased X-Men 3.
Right.
And then Logan comes up. It's like, oh, by the way, all the Days of Futures Past gives us a happy ending. Jean's alive, Scott's alive, the original X-Men X2 cast is alive, and then Logan comes around and is like, oh, Professor Xavier killed everyone, and now he's dying, and we have to watch him die over 2 hours, and it's like, no! But like, it's not the first time we saw him die. We technically saw him die in X-Men 3.
Exactly.
Now it turns out he was alive at the end of the Wolverine, we find out. So do you think that they're going to kind of maybe ignore Logan and maybe go with that Days of Future Past fixed timeline where Professor Xavier?
No, I think you can't ignore Logan. I think that's the thing, right? You can't ignore Logan because that movie is so highly revered in the X-Men franchise. It would be like if they took back Days of Future Past or First Class or that type of stuff. Yeah. And also Marvel's not Warner Brothers. They're not into retconning entire films. They I give them that in that they make things that make those films that aren't as good better. Other content that comes out that, Thor the Dark World, for example, has not aged as badly as it was when it came out. That movie, because of pretty much all the other Marvel movies that came out.
Well, have you heard the theory? This is not my theory. This is due to Eric Voss at New Rockstars. I like this theory that when Patrick Stewart says to Doctor Strange, I'm going to pull up that shot where he says, I think it's time to tell him the truth.
Yeah.
They have suggested that the timeline we've been watching of the MCU from Iron Man to Endgame and beyond, the main timeline, is not the original timeline. At the original timeline, it had the X-Men and that they were erased, that they erased what happened to the mutants. So that entire timeline got erased, and people like with Peter Parker have forgotten that there were ever mutants, that there ever was a Magneto, but those things still happened. And I'm like, oh, damn, that'd be interesting, which means that those X-Men films technically still took place in this timeline.
Right.
That's interesting.
That I don't know if they're going to go that route. Look, I do think they're going to take full advantage of the multiverse, right? There was another universe that didn't have Iron Man and Spider-Man and all of these other guys, but they had the X-Men. Those were their Avengers. That's the world that they know. So I think those types of things are going to start to be explained and all of that. And then obviously we're still waiting for the introduction of how they're going to bring the X-Men into this universe. But I mean, look, there's a couple things. It could be the same Professor X. It could be a variant. In that way, you get around the whole Logan thing. You know.
Do you find it interesting? Because we were hypothesizing this. Because once the Fox acquisition happened, the question is, chances are we all assume Marvel's just going to do their own version of the X-Men. We heard theories that they both might be African-American men in the 60s, you know, Charles Xavier and Eric Lensher or whatever, and that they might, you know, retcon that or do another version of that. And I was like, it'd be kind of cool if they brought Patrick Stewart back, because I said, look, he's back in Star Trek. He's moving around, and I would say I was shocked. Were there rumors about this before that he was coming back? Because I didn't hear about it.
That's the other thing. There was a lot of, very much like Spider-Man, there was a lot of leaks. Marvel has been having an issue with a lot of leaks. And so, yes, concept art had leaked of Patrick Stewart's Xavier in the literally in that scene. The whole background and everything, a picture leaked of, and it wasn't, you know, an actual, it was concept art. It was all concept art that leaked, and it was that he was going to be in the scene and all of that. And I do think it's going to be for him a bit of a glorified cameo, and that it's not going to be just a quick appearance. He might, you know, I think there's going to be some crazy stuff.
But do you think he will be the Professor Xavier of the MCU for the time being?
No. I think he's going to die in this movie.
Again, third time.
Somebody put a great point. Is that he's basically
Kasuka.
Kasuka. He's basically the Kenny of the Marvel universe. You know, they're just gonna keep killing him off in different timelines in different ways and stuff. But I will say,
have you seen the new South Park? Just a quick aside.
I have not. No,
it's really hilarious. No. It turns out that Token, the black kid named Token. Oh, his real name is Token, as in J.R. Tolkien, and it's kind of like a meta joke. Everyone's like, "Yeah, we knew that." And Stan's like, "I thought his name was Token." They're like, "Why would we name that, you racist?" And they're like, "Yes, it has always been Tolkien." Oh my God, it's hilarious. I don't want an 80-year-old Professor X. I'm sorry, we don't know how long he can play this character. Yeah, I mean that is true, but I would say why bring him in if you think it's just a good one? Because the way he died in Logan, I mean that's a great movie, but it was kind of hard to watch.
I'll tell you why you bring him in.
A 6-year-old movie.
It's the same reason why you would bring Wolverine back for this one movie, right?
Yeah.
Is that, look, there's an opportunity here to not allow these actors to continue playing them forever, or but this allows you to give them that chance to interact at least once with the MCU and with the, you know, what's the one thing Hugh Jackman has said for years and years and years and years? I want to work with Iron Man. I want to go to the Avengers. I want to show up in those movies. So understandably, right? Hugh Jackman's done with the character. Yes. Patrick Stewart is done with the character. Yes. They're not coming back to reprise the role. No, this isn't Michael Keaton, people. Yeah. This is not Michael Keaton.
Well, Michael Keaton was done. Like, he was not planning on doing this ever again. I mean, especially at age 70. He was like,
but when he came back, he ended up coming back. Like, he's back. He's playing the character multiple times.
Patrick Stewart said, he also said he was never going to play Captain Picard again. They really had to, like, wring his arm.
And that's the thing.
Come back and play this character. William Shatner hasn't come back as Captain Kirk in, like, 30 years.
This is the perfect opportunity. You can imagine Kevin going to these two and going, look, I'm not asking you guys to come back and play these characters full time, but we have an opportunity here to not only tell a story that has not been told on screen before because we've done the work to tell it, you know, but also we have an opportunity to do exactly what No Way Home did. If you do this right, the fan service and the opportunity to get to see Patrick Stewart, my Professor X, or to see Hugh Jackman in the MCU sandbox, I think is what is the big.
That's interesting you said that, because it actually brings me to one of my point. But for those of you who know that I tend to have hot takes, not because I'm controversial, but just because I tend to be a little tough on comic book movies. I want more comic book movies, better comic book movies. Interesting story about Patrick Stewart. When he was cast to play Professor Xavier, they handed him a comic with Professor Xavier on the cover. And not being funny, Patrick Stewart said, "Why am I on the cover of this?" Like, he literally thought that they based it off him. You know, and it was just like, because even when I was a kid, I'm like, when I was a little kid, and I used to watch X-Men, the animated series, I'm like, I was at that time, Star Trek, The Next Generation was on, like, oh, he'd be a great Professor Xavier. And am I wrong that Professor Xavier was American for the longest time in the comics? And it's only the last like 25 years or so that he became British, because in the X-Men animated series, he had an American voice. I have a feeling that maybe they cast Patrick Stewart like, yeah, he's British now. And then the writers are like, yeah, he's British now. You know, because I don't know if he was always British in the comics, at least going back to the 70s and 80s. I don't think he was British. He was an American. I mean, Professor Xavier, for all intents and purposes, is an American, immigrated here in like the 50s or whatever. But still, here's what I'm worried about with the MCU. I loved No Way Home. I think it was I just because the Snyder Cut had so much for me, it's like number 2 for me, but it's a close 2. I'm kind of worried that cameos might become the substitution for good stories. That the stories are going to be okay, and that Marvel's going to be let's do as many great cameos as we can. So instead of telling a really good story, there's going to be like, oh, here's Patrick Stewart, here's Hugh Jackman, here's Ryan Reynolds. And Ryan Reynolds, if you were to pop up for one frame in this movie, one frame. Like, did you hear about the idea they had for Avengers Infinity War of how they should have done it, but they didn't? Was that how there's no second post-credit scene? There's only one at the end. There should have been the Battle of Wakanda, and it's like clear, and all of a sudden Deadpool shows up like, I'm here. Am I late? And that should have just been it. I'm like, oh, that would have been perfect.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I do think that I think Deadpool could very well show. But at the same time, look, I'm curious what makes you say this? What makes you what gives you the concern that because Marvel has yet to disappoint us in that aspect.
In that aspect, yeah. But I guess my fear is that look, they made 2 really good movies, but now moving forward, like, let's just do more cameos. And Warner Bros. Is like, get Michael Keaton back, get Val Kilmer back, get George Clooney back. Like, let's do, let's just tell regular stories, but let's just have the cameos to kind of have that big moment, But real quick, Jared says, Hairless Wookie, they've always been connected to World War II. And look, they can play around with the fact that, and they've done this in the Fox timeline, that, because they're mutants, they age differently. Because both Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen were too young to have been young or young adults during World War II.
Yeah.
But Ian McKellen was supposed to be maybe a teenager in the opening scene of X-Men. Yeah, he at that point when that was happening, he was like 3 years old. But
yes, ladies and gentlemen,
Enosh is joining us, but he stepped out.
We did have a cameo from Enosh.
We did have a cameo.
That was planned to prove the point of does a cameo take away from the show? And now look at all you people saying Enosh in the chat and all this.
Yeah, look at that. Was planned.
We just proved right here. We just did a live scientific experiment, social experiment. But no. But no, I can understand where you're coming from.
Real quick, I think I'm waiting for Enosh to text me and saying, "Is that your background? You got to change it," because that's not even the worst one I have.
No. Let's see. Enosh, he said he's going to be uploading something.
He has a statement that he would like to make as the creator of Jivin With Jack. We'll hear again about that. Real quick, this girl, I'm not too familiar with her.
Yes.
America Chavez.
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with her? Because I don't know who she is.
Very, very, very little. I don't know too much. I know her power is obviously is traversing the multiverse. And obviously,
Erotic said her power was feminism.
Oh God! There we go. The fandom menace. It's woke. It's woke. It's too woke, people. But no, I wish you had a shot here of the. So in that opening of the trailer, the Doctor Strange trailer, you have her. She's tied up and she's facing.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Oh yeah, she's facing this demon creature here thing.
Who's that?
I don't know. So
from what I hear, comic book nerd.
It's some type of demon that's after her and all of that. And you see behind her, this giant star port. That's her power. Those are the portal that she opens up. And when she's her and Doctor Strange are going through the portals, you see like Jurassic Park and then a comic book one. And there's a lot. So you're really gonna see the multiverse. She punches portals.
Is her name actually America, or is that like a character name?
That's another great
question. Is it like
question.
America Ferrera?
Look, man, Marvel Comics is not my you see the DC encyclopedia over here? Come on, dude.
Okay, non sequitur. One of my favorite lines in Peacemaker. What are you in jail for? What did you go to jail for? Integrity. Sorry. This America.
Oh, God.
That way. More X-Men is a win in my book. I've always had let's get this straight. I have read Marvel Comics. I'm not a great connoisseur. But X-Men comics have always been better written. I mean, I've read them in the last 10 years. Have always been better written.
Whoa. That's a statement there, but I don't know.
Dude, they've had some of the best writers. I always say the best written comics
I strongly
in Marvel
disagree.
for me always were Daredevil and X-Men, just because every good writer, including Mr. I take no responsibility for this, Joss Whedon, wrote some great stuff. Joss Whedon, Brian Michael Bendis, they
but at DC, man, you've got.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about Marvel. I'm talking about Marvel. I preferred them to the Avengers. The Avengers was more look at these guys teaming up. X-Men.
Got it. I thought you were saying Marvel had better writers than DC, and I was.
No. I was saying X-Men always had better writers than the Avengers.
You're gonna start a whole nother war here, man.
Wait, I'm liking where this is going, Jared. So she's tied up, and Doctor Strange comes with a whip.
Oh
that's
my
the
god!
MCU that I'll watch. MCU rated.
Wow.
Yeah, but this is the type of content you get on Jivin With Jack. Look, the numbers are dropping.
Wow.
I hope to God this actress is over 18. Otherwise, I'm getting my show's getting taken down. So here we go. They're going to make Wanda a true mutant. Yeah, so I'm wondering if the mutant thing is going to come into play here. So let's get to Wanda. There is a shot, which I did not screenshot, unfortunately, where it looks like the modern family kind of setting from WandaVision. And we see one Wanda that looks like the Wanda from WandaVision. And we have the Wanda with the Scarlet Witch. Do you think is that a variant, or do you think she's talking to herself, or has she jumped into the timeline where the children are alive?
I think same thing. We're going to see multiple Doctor Stranges, right? Strange Supreme, evil Doctor Strange. I think we're going to see multiple Wandas. We're going to see a Wanda that knows of the Darkhold, that's in control. We're going to see a Wanda that's out of control and is just tearing the multiverse apart, looking for her kids. I think we're going to see, dude, it even looks like we might see zombie Wanda.
Oh, wow.
Zombie Wanda.
A lot of people were talking about like the What If series, which I did not watch, but some people said that they saw,
see, and that's the sad part, Jack, is you didn't watch What If.
Yeah,
and it wasn't advertised as you need to watch it. In fact, it was advertised as this big anthology thing, right? Blah blah blah. And by the end of it,
I'm missing some photos here. I uploaded more photos. Where the hell are they?
Ruh-roh.
I got them. For some reason, they didn't transfer, but here they come. Yeah, where's that strange variant where he looks kind of like? Why is this uploading? Huh?
I don't.
It's the one where like it looks like a variant. He's got his hair slicked back, not the evil one, but he's got like white stripes.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't see that in here. Okay.
Yeah, here we go. I tried to upload them all, everything, folks, but I spent 2 hours working on all this. You guys are going to look at this and you're going to enjoy this grainy footage courtesy of New Rockstars, because every time I try to screenshot trailers, I get stuck with a copyright claim. So, true story. When we in Austin were covering Loki, kind of an aside, I would screenshot frames from the show, and that is very annoying. But I did it. 30 to 40 of them. And Disney would hit us, be like, this belongs to us.
Right. And yes, so
the cartoonverse, that's when he's flying through the thing.
So I don't know if it's the What If universe to run, because it looked like a drawn comic universe.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. It looked closer to like maybe like something out of like Into the Spider-Verse, what they might do, or Across the Spider-Verse.
What if when the cartoon version variant of Doctor Strange comes into the real world, he becomes like this, like human? Or like human looking. But which variant do you think this guy is? He looks scary here, by the way.
So this is called Defender Strange.
Oh.
I don't know too much about Marvel Comics. I'm trying to get more into them.
Wait, when you say Defender, is that as in the Defenders?
I think it's as in the Defenders, because I know there's a comic where Doctor Strange is part of the Defenders, is part of the Daredevil, Luke Cage type Defenders. So if that's there, you can possibly hint at some of these, maybe other. We'll get the explanation of some of these Netflix MCU characters finally coming into the MCU proper.
Okay.
I think that
I'm glad they're not dismissing this. Now that I've seen Patrick Stewart, it's like moving forward. I'm like, yeah, I want to see that. Hugh Jackman. I know this is a conversation that people have had a million times, but now that we see Patrick Stewart, do you think, maybe not in this film, we see him in a cameo, or do you think they're going to be like, we got to do our own Wolverine? I love you. He is better looking than all of us at Poindexter Lounge combined. times 10, but he's 51, 50 years old. He's not old, but to put on that kind of muscle mass.
It's possible. And look, the dude just finished The Music Man on Broadway, and that's no easy role either. You're tap dancing and doing all this crazy stuff. And I mean, look, it's like I said, I don't think he'd come back for a full movie. I don't think. And if they don't get him for this, I think there's a good chance that we see him in Secret Wars.
Real quick,
in the big event, right?
Elephant in the room. Caden's not here today. When we made the transition, we decided to drop Caden.
We left him.
We left him aside. No, we're just kidding. Caden's got some exciting things on his plate.
Caden's a working man now.
He's a working man. So for today and Thursday, Caden is. So in fact, that's what Caden is for, to answer the nerdy questions. Like Caden will be like, well, this character is Shlammer Gurgerblah from X-Men issue 172, page 5. You know, and he'll tell you that. That's why Caden's here. He's our man in the chair. He tells us who this is. By the way, I like her hair better here. Very rogue X-Men 90s here. I'm just saying.
Look, I do think, Anthony, that you are going to have to watch What If to understand, because look, you have the appearance of evil Doctor Strange there. They're gonna have to address who are you, what happened to your universe. You know, there's a whole storyline with Doctor Strange Supreme, evil Doctor Strange in What If, that very much looks like it's going to carry over into the live action movie. So I don't know. I think you actually might have to watch What If to be in this. And look, Feige's been pretty open in that the MCU is going to get even more and more connected. That for those of you who really want to be on top of things, you're going to have to watch every show. You're going to have to watch every movie. That is the way that Feige has designed it.
But I feel like, hypothetically, like if you were to watch Doctor Strange without seeing What If, you're not going to be like completely lost in the story. Like if you saw Infinity War without seeing all the movies, yeah, you'd be a little bit lost. But you'd be able to follow the plot, I think. I mean, I'll watch What If. You know.
I don't think you'll be lost, but I think you'll have questions. You'll go,
well, I think that's why Doctor Strange would be the avatar for us. Like Doctor Strange, like, who's this guy? Oh, he's from like another universe and he does this. You know, like, there's gonna be that moment where he has to try to figure out who the hell is this guy, because he hasn't watched What If. So he's gonna be like us. It'll be explained to us. Exposition.
Well, but that's the other thing too. Is like I said, Marvel and Feige has been clear at this, and is they're at a point now. They're 10 years into this. They don't care anymore about that stuff. Okay. You missed something. Like Feige's been pretty open. Like you missed something. You missed something. We're gonna keep going. We're keeping hard, and we're trekking ahead, and we're and so yeah.
The Ultron bots. The Ultron bots. Okay.
The Ultron bots. The Ultron bots are again from What If.
Okay.
So you're gonna get some more context there.
Okay. I mean, there's a question about the What If. Tony Stark. Was he in there?
No, I doubt. I don't think there is a speculation that Superior Iron Man is a part of the Illuminati and stuff.
The Top Gun himself with the aviators is going to be the new Iron Man.
No, I don't think so. I think the Illuminati is made up of Captain Carter, and you got Professor X. Obviously, I think you're going to get a variant. This is not going to be the MCU official Reed Richards, but you're going to get a multiversal Reed Richards.
Oh, okay. Isn't Iron Man part of the Illuminati? I've been seeing these pictures of the Illuminati.
There is a version, yes. There is a version of Iron Man that's a part of the Illuminati, yes.
Okay.
I don't know if there. I mean, look, we know, right? We know Marvel doesn't always go accurate with the team, or they may leave someone out or add someone in, substitute, whatever. So I don't. And at the same time, I think, like I said, the big thing with Iron Man, keep him done for now. He had a big impact in the MCU and stuff, even with the whole.
And he would take away, even if it would play by, like, let's say Tom Cruise, he would kind of take away from Doctor Strange. Real quick, Justin, if you don't have the time, plenty of YouTubers do recaps. Like, I'm definitely doing a recap of Horizon Zero Dawn, because the new one's coming out this weekend. Instead of replaying the whole game, I'm just going to watch a recap and be like, oh, yeah, that's what's happened. Oh, real quick. This is kind of sudden news. I definitely want to talk to you about this. We're still talking about Doctor Strange. I'm not changing the subject except for the next minute. Cyberpunk's upgrade came today.
I already downloaded it.
So did I. I got it saved. I'm not gonna play it tonight though. I'm gonna wait till this weekend when I have time. But if you have Cyberpunk on, I'm saying next gen, but basically a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, the upgrade is there. Just pop your disc in or whatever you have, and it'll do the upgrade. Sorry. Back to Doctor Strange, real quick. Do you think he's being arrested by the Illuminati, or is this? Do you think?
Oh no, it's the Illuminati, dude, for sure. It's the Illuminati. I mean, and that's the other thing. Mordo is part of the Illuminati as well. That's why he's the one sent to get Strange, and he tells him, "Look, you destroyed the multiverse. You you screwed up. You got to pay." Like it's literally going to be a very courtroom, a very courtroom type scene. Where Strange is on trial. Yeah.
Mordo is back, and Mordo was kind of set up at least at the end of the first film to be the villain. I mean, for those I do know that from the comics.
I do not think that is the Mordo from Doctor Strange 2.
Oh, you don't
from the first Doctor Strange. I think this is his variant multiverse Mordo that's a part of the Illuminati.
Oh, so you don't think that this is? Do you think
so?
That
if that's the case, it very well could be that's what Patrick Stewart is. He's a variant Illuminati.
Okay, all right, yeah, and it seemed like Patrick Stewart, if that's him in the shadows, is standing up. He's not in his wheelchair.
Oh no! First of all, there's a lot of people that thought he was shown fully in the trailer. He wasn't. Patrick Stewart was never shown full. Besides that his ear, the ear shot of the.
He's got a famous dome. It's hard to miss him,
Because I will tell you something. No, he's not standing.
Okay.
And B, he is not in the wheelchair from the X-Men movies that you've seen.
Yeah.
He is in the comic.
Lewis says it doesn't sound like Professor X speaking. Are you saying it doesn't sound like Patrick Stewart? Because
I'm very curious. Who do you think? Because I think.
I mean, I'm a nerd. I've been watching Star Trek all my life. I know his voice.
That was pretty indistinguishable, man.
Yeah. And I got to freaking.
I think it's time we tell him the truth. Patrick is.
Yeah. I wonder what that truth is going to be, and I'm glad that they're not giving us much. But this is going to be exciting. We got the Batman. I got my ticket opening weekend, and we got Doctor Strange 2 months later. We're gonna have, and this is not going to be a filler movie because sometimes a lot of these MCU movies are just like to get you to the next big movie. We got Spider-Man. Epic film, and this is going to be an epic film. And I'm glad they're treating it like an epic film because I felt like Doctor Strange deserves more than just a filler movie. And I thought his first movie was great. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but for me, it is a rewatchable film.
I love it.
Rated it. I think it's wrong. People say, "Oh, it's Iron Man," but with mysticism, I'm like, no, it's not.
Who says that?
Oh, you haven't heard that? People say, "Oh, it's the same story as Iron Man." Rich guy gets humbled, and
Doctor Strange is probably next to No Way Home, and it's in the top 3 best Marvel movies ever made. If you don't, how do you feel about this? So if that multiversal Reed Richards shows up, and it's not going to be the official one for the MCU, but it's just gonna, it's gonna be, a variant or whatever, show up one time type thing. You think John Krasinski should be Reed Richards?
Yeah, but he's gonna have to drop that. So ever since he did what was that movie they did about Benghazi? 13 Hours. He's been jacked. He's gonna have to go back to Jim from The Office because Reed Richards is kind of known for being kind of skinny. John Krasinski needs to get his Jim Office body back and get rid of the whole muscular, By the way, there's a shot of Doctor Strange waking up in bed, and he's in really good shape. I'm like, dude, if his hands are messed up, how's he working out? How's he picking up and curling 20 pounds if his hands are all
magic strength in the hands? You just little spell in the hands.
No, but that was the whole point of the first movie is that he could use dark magic to fix his hands, but he chooses not to. That's why he's always like this,
Right.
Justin Hines says. Yeah.
And no, Lewis, I wasn't. I didn't mean to. If that came out. No. I personally, for me, I think that was Patrick Stewart. That was indistinguishably Patrick Stewart for me. I know that voice. It's the first Doctor Strange movie was too trippy for me. Well, I saw that movie on Tripping, so I can only imagine. You can only imagine what that was like. Multiverse of Madness feels more. Oh, I know Justin had it. Just watched Doctor Strange a few weeks ago. It's probably in my top 3 Marvel. Yeah, same for me, man. That movie is so good. I'm good. I really don't want it. I'm good.
I can see it happening. I know you don't like it personally, but I think
I can see it happening. I just don't.
I think he'd be decent in it. He has enough personality where it won't feel like, oh, is he trying to be Robert Downey Jr.? No, he would be his version of Iron Man, whatever that is. But I don't think it'd be like he would become the new Iron Man if that were hope. After No Way Home and Black Panther. Ooh, yeah, Black Panther 2 is coming out this year. I have no idea what the hell the story is going to be in that. Because apparently I'm hearing that Shuri is not going to be the new Black Panther.
I don't know. I don't know what that one has a lot of leaks.
Are they going to Luke Skywalker CGI Chadwick Boseman?
No, they're not going to do that. They already said they're
I'm telling you guys, that's coming, by the way. That's coming. In the future, they're going to make a Superman movie with Christopher Reeve CGI. That's they're trying it out. They'll bring John Wayne back. They'll bring James Cagney back. James Cagney and Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a movie together. And it'll just be him CGI. That's where it's going. That's where it's going, folks.
I hope not. But Multiverse of Madness feels more like a movie I wanted the first time. I like the first movie.
Marvel always plays the same.
They played it a bit safe, but at the same time, they also pushed a lot of stuff. I mean, that movie, that's probably the only movie where you see Doctor Strange get brutally murdered 10 times in a row by, so it does. It started, and that was a big reason from the director Scott Derrickson. He's great, but
he wanted to make him a straight up horror movie, and this still feels like it has horror vibes. But Raimi always tends to play horror and campy off each other. If you ever see Evil Dead or Drag Me to Hell, he sort of plays them both well together. Justin Hines says, "Give me Ironheart." Isn't she coming?
Ironheart is coming. They did just cast Anthony Ramos in a role for that. Superman also has a poop fetish. He does. He likes the poop. And don't forget that Wonder Woman was fucking Peacemaker from across the room. I think Winston's. I do too, Teron. This is what I believe is going to happen. Is that M'Baku will become the new Black Panther?
Was he in Endgame?
He was in Endgame, and he had a great redeeming arc in Black Panther. They did a great job with his character and stuff for it to kind of, with the circumstance, it's terrible and stuff, but it was kind of, set up that that's a possibility now that he's redeemed and that he's working with the Wakandans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is anyone excited about Tom Cruise's Iron Man and Multiverse? My heart is pumping right now. I'm not too excited, man. I'm not.
I'm not. If he were to show up as a small role as an alternate Iron Man, not become the new Iron Man moving forward, one movie, I think that'd be kind of cool. Just because I know that he was one of the people rumored to play Iron Man back in the day, but because of his antics on Oprah and talking about pharmaceuticals on the Today Show with Matt Lauer, they're like, okay, we're gonna kind of back away from Tom Cruise, but the guy is still a huge bankable star, and he is ageless, and his Top Gun movie looks crazy. Anthony makes a good point. He says that he don't think Toby's gonna be in this movie because then Sony would get a percentage. That's true. Look, they're not going to put Toby in for a cameo and then have to pay Sony a crap ton of money. That's true. Kasuga says, I like Peacemaker. We are going to talk about Peacemaker on Thursday, I promise you, because I have a lot to say about that show. Aaron Pritchard says, G'day, Jack and Justin.
Hey,
that's my dad's name, by the way, Justin. And Justin Hines' name. Start a stream, check out. Oh, guys, welcome. Welcome for the first time, Aaron. And Aaron's got her arms up. We're looking for a fight. Well, you're at the right show. This will be the kind of the antagonistic show. We kind of stir the pot a little bit. Winston Duke, by the way, Winston Duke got a pay raise for Black Panther 2, probably. Yeah, I always thought the cool idea would have been that if they hadn't killed off Killmonger, that he could become the new Black Panther, and he would go from villain to hero. I'm like, what an arc that would be. Let's say he became and he had to redeem himself and now become the king that he had never planned to become. He wanted to become more like a tyrant. I'm like, that's good story, but they killed off Killmonger. So
Yeah, no, I agree. And Marvel has that issue. You know, a lot of these superhero movies have that issue of these villains are supposed to last a long time. Not the only two that Marvel's kept around were Thanos and Loki.
And even that, they kill off Loki, bring him back. Kill off Loki, bring him back.
Exactly. So Marvel, you know, that's one thing that I'm excited about the Batman movies and all of that is that you kind of know, you know, the Riddler's not going to die in this movie.
He might not die at Batman's hands. You never know. Like
I think that they're smart, man. They're gonna keep him. They're gonna keep him around. They're gonna keep him.
But
around.
Justin says, but did they kill him though? Like, okay, let's say they didn't kill him. It's quite clear that he's not going to be the main actor of this movie. He might be playing Superman soon. Is that the rumor? Now you say something, Austin.
I don't know. Man. Was he? I don't know.
No, yeah, he's not filming. He's not. It's like you would know if he was filming. Like, I can't imagine that he's a new Black Panther. They just haven't announced it. The guys, he was in a new movie, which looked like it should be on Lifetime, where like he dies and leaves his son a letter. It's like dear Michael or something like that. It's something weird. If Marvel Disney confirmed Multiverse of Madness, we'll have a 3-hour and 30. Well, where's this coming from, Peter?
Whoa, yeah, that's a statement.
I mean, I would see it 3.5 hours, but I don't know.
I don't know that they would go that far.
I'm gonna look that up. Doctor Strange. I don't think we're gonna have a runtime just yet, but like chances are there's still. Yeah. Oh wow. So this is from. Yeah, but I don't know about this website. MaxBlizz.com.
Oh, yeah.
Early runtime, longest MCU ever made. Yeah, well, that's how it always is. The original runtimes are always long, and then they edit it out. Just if only. Yeah, I mean, look, after Endgame, the Batman is going to be short of 3 hours. Bring on make good 3-hour epics. We talked about this with Owen Gleiberman. Like, I kind of miss those older epic movies, which would put you through a journey. You know, it wasn't a filler movie. They wanted you to go through 3.5 hours of like stuff, so it stuck with you. See Lawrence of Arabia, you know, see Gone with the Wind, you know, those 2-disc movies. Titanic. Comic book movies should get that treatment because there are too many stories to tell to cram it into 2 hours. And they really try hard to cram it in 2.5 hours. Imagine if Infinity War was a good 3 hours. I mean, it's a great movie, but imagine if they had like 30 minutes of time to spend with these characters a little bit more. It might have had to change the tone of the film, but imagine if that was like a 3-hour and 10-minute movie. I mean, just the Infinity War, it would have felt like a war, like an actual war that's kind of ongoing. Do you think we're going to see What If Black Widow? Probably not, because of all the whole ScarJo taking a fight with Disney thing. If it is, it ain't going to be her. And then it's going to be obvious, like, oh, I was going to bring Scarlett Johansson back.
Oh God, no! I mean, is it? If anything, I think they might bring Black Widow back, but not Scarlett.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and then fans would get mad.
Lake Bell voiced Black Widow.
Oh, you think her?
In What If? And she did great.
I want to hear a Black Widow with a Russian accent, you know?
I think Lake Bell would be a phenomenal Black Widow replacement for ScarJo.
Okay. I mean, every time they've shown Black Widow before ScarJo in like in movies and television shows and video games, she always had like a Russian accent. Like she shows up in the Punisher video game and she's got like a Russian accent, like, Punisher, what are you doing here? But again, I always say I don't like their Russian accent. Go to Eastern Europe, go to Russia. There are a lot of beautiful women there. Cast them with actual Russian accents.
Right.
If I can do the Russian accent as well as the people in the Marvel movies, that's not a good sign. But also, do me a favor. Text Enosh, ask him when he's coming because I know he has a statement he wants to make, but I also want him here for the Super Bowl segment. If not, we can talk quickly about other things. Let me see. I did have other questions about Black Panther, or not Black Panther, Doctor Strange. Some people are saying this as a sign. Where is it? He says the nightmare begins, that this is a nod to the fact that either Nightmare is going to show up or pop up in this movie. I have no idea. What do you guys think? Do you think I don't know, but let me just a comment here. Aaron, I understand because of Scientology. I can understand that. But Peter also says, I hope to bring Lake Bell back for Black Widow. Emily Blunt was chosen for Black Widow. Is she going to play? Emily Blunt, I think, has height, which could make her. ScarJo is great.
And I think I think I'm not going to lie, and this isn't to say, but if you're going to do something like that, you're basically starting or giving us a new Black Widow. Emily may be past the age of what they want, of what the MCU. Like you just have to be honest, right? In that the MCU right now, they're looking to cast characters for the next 5 to 10 years.
I don't see them doing another version of Natasha. I think that the new girl that everyone likes, I don't know what her name is, Black Widow's sister.
Oh, yeah. She'll probably
be the new Black Widow.
But that's again why you need to see What If.
Okay.
Is because they do some stuff with Black Widow that is interesting.
Yeah.
And so that's
Emily Emily, I think she's such a good actress. I don't see her getting involved in too big a franchise. I'm curious how old she is. But yeah, they're probably gonna go with an actress in her 20s. She was born in 80. Oh yeah, she's pushing 40. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that I give a crap. But yeah, they're gonna want to watch someone who's a little more younger and a little more, because when ScarJo came in, she was like in her mid-20s, I want to say. You know, so like when she's not, you look at her, man, she's young AF in that movie.
Yeah.
Marvel's doing a ripoff Bruce Wayne Dreams. I don't think so. They do that type of stuff in comics all the time. Like, oh, I'm having a nightmare. But maybe. I don't think that's. I'm curious what the Nightmare Begins means. I mean, he talks about having nightmares, and so here's my question: is the reason for this movie? Something happened. Is it what happened in No Way Home when he almost broke the multiverse, or do you think another incident happens that caused this movie to happen?
I think it's a series. I think it's a series of incidents that happens. You know, it's the No Way Home spell. It's the stuff that happens in Loki. It's all of that happening concurrently at the same time.
Loki. Okay.
Causes the multiverse to literally snap, to literally break. You know, and you hear Juan says, we don't know who or what came through. Like, we can't track it. Yeah. You know, so it's chaos. This movie is utter chaos. They're gonna throw it again. And you can kind of sense, man, if they're giving away that Patrick freaking Stewart is back in the second trailer, this movie has a lot more in store.
Make it so.
It's got a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think now, like, if I had to make a guess, like 2 years ago, how much is Doctor Strange going to? Doctor Strange 2 is probably going to make like 800 million, 900 million. I don't think it'll cross $1 billion. This one,
I think it's gonna
easily cross $1 billion.
Yeah.
And then some. Spider-Man just beat Avatar as the third highest domestic box office. I mean, Spider-Man is still making money. By now, this movie should be on Disney Plus. It's not, because it's still making money. That's how movies are supposed to be in theaters for months, not like 5 weeks. And here it's on Disney Plus. Well, I don't think Spider-Man is going to be on Disney Plus. I think the rumor mill is that because it's with Sony that they're going to want some of that money too. So,
yeah.
But no, that's pretty cool. Wow, we have 28 people here. Wow, thank you.
Hey, guys. Guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Hit the notification
and if you ever, by the way, and this is one of the reasons I love Enosh. He suggested this. Make sure to subscribe, become a member of the channel. But if you guys want to support Jivin With Jack specifically, we do have a Patreon now, and I'll give, for every $1 I make, I will give Austin 1 penny. So give a lot, so Austin can eat.
So I can eat.
Get a razor.
But no. But yeah, no, guys, you can definitely check out our Patreon. We'll be putting that in the description, and we'll put it in the chat here too, so that way you can help us and just kind of. That's like you said. That's the nice thing about it. Look, Aaron. So as far as I know, the members of the Illuminati for the film are you have Mordo, you have Captain Carter, you have Professor X. I believe there's going to be a variant of Reed Richards on there as well. I can't remember who else. I feel like I'm missing.
Is it like a rotating cast of people like the Avengers? Like at some point, a lot of people have been
I think in the comics it kind of is. But the comic that I most remember known as the Illuminati it's Mordo, Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, Iron Man, Captain Carter. It's kind of the big ones, right? But So we'll see if the movie does anything different in who they choose. But I think in the trailer you can pretty much see Mordo. You can see even Reed Richards. There's a shot of a dude sitting there, and he's got a pretty big symbol right here. It's kind of interesting. So I don't know. I can't confirm anything, but John Campea said this movie's trailer is the best trailer Marvel's ever put out. I don't agree. It's good, but not the best ever.
I know what my best Marvel trailer ever is, but you go first.
Gosh, the best Marvel trailer? Wow. Logan. It's not even an MCU.
Okay, so you're okay. All right. Okay, I was thinking just MCU. I gotta go with that first Infinity War trailer. When you first see Thanos for the time, and you see like Tony Stark taking his glasses off.
You know what? I do love the Endgame trailer when they reuse a lot of the footage leading up.
Oh, that is a good trailer. Yeah,
you get a good reminder, and then you have his You have Iron Man's narration. You know, we've made it so far. Part of the end is all this, and it was good. That was a good
trailer.
That
felt more like a goodbye to me, whereas Infinity War was like some shit is coming. So get ready. You're like, this doesn't look good. Where's the happiness? Where's the cheeriness? It's like a grim trailer, and Thanos shows up.
Tarod, thank you. I had heard again. I don't know if this is true.
Anson Mount.
Huh?
I heard that Anson Mount was going to play Black Bolt. I don't know how true that is.
I don't know, but I had heard that it's possible that the other Illuminati member are Inhumans. Yes. Because Feige has been wanting to get the Inhumans in there.
Oh, wait, no. This is from Giant Freaking Robot. Can we trust them?
Nope.
Okay, never mind.
You can trust them about as much as you can trust Mike.
Play Captain Pike. Anthony, is this true that new Star Trek film was being directed by Matt Shackman? Didn't he do WandaVision?
Yes. Shackman did WandaVision. Now he's going to do.
I don't see anything about this.
No, this is breaking news. This was just discussing film. Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, Carl Urban, and John Cho, and Simon Pegg are all in talks to reprise their roles for a fourth Star Trek film.
Wow, that is huge news, because after that third movie, they were going to reboot it again, and I'm like, why? You have a decent cast. Wow, that is pretty. I'm a Star Trek fan. I'm not a big fan of new Star Trek. I'm going to talk to
Brian
about that, because Brian likes the new Star Trek. I don't. But Brian's got a show called 10 Forward. If you're a Star Trek fan, definitely check it out.
Mondays here, 5.
You're on the Poindexter Lounge. Part of. Wait, I didn't get to do this. Part of the Pantheon.
The Pantheon. Yes. And yes, Peter, Vin Diesel is Black Bolt.
He's gonna do it for family.
For family. But let's see. Let's have Anthony. Anthony said Austin Cappan, Marvel been dead. No, I agree. Like, probably the best Marvel movie this year was obviously No Way Home and stuff. I thought Shang-Chi was good. Black Widow was meh. Eternals was meh. You know,
that movie. It's free on
it's on Disney Plus, dude.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I feel like it's like, I don't know. I know I gotta watch it. It's part of what I do, but
Yeah, no, I mean, look,
those of you who follow Jivin With Jack from the first season know that I have been really tough on Disney Marvel shows. I have not been impressed, except for Loki. But there we go. Jack, don't watch it. Anthony says don't watch it. I don't. You know what? They haven't. Are they going to make an Eternals 2? Because it seems like that.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be kind of like Captain Marvel.
Where they're going to do about the Marvels. We're like,
they're going to team reboot. They're going to team them up with somebody.
That's right. Aaron Pritchard says, Anson's doing Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Yeah, and that's supposed to return to traditional Trek formula instead of trying to be edgy and hardcore. Jack, watch it. Damn it, you watch it. Yeah, I think I have to watch it. Maybe I'll read a book at the same time or something. Yeah. Look at Austin. I've been up since 6:45.
Dude, I've been up. Yeah, you saw me because you texted the.
Yeah, I saw you text me. Austin's up at a godly hour.
I responded. I've been up since 5 o'clock my time.
All right. Listen, we're waiting on Enosh, so we're gonna hit a couple more topics. We're gonna get to the Super Bowl, but there are a couple of smaller topics I definitely want to hit on. It's not gonna be as long as this one, but look, we are nowhere near done talking about Doctor Strange. We're going to be talking about it through the spring. The weather's going to get warm. And once we watch it, holy crap, you can guarantee that here in the Pantheon, we will be talking a lot about Doctor Strange. But for now, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to go on to our next topic. I don't care about this. Most of you don't care about this. In fact, I guarantee you that when I bring this topic off, most of you are going to leave, but I promise it won't be that long. The Oscars are going to get 3 hosts.
Yes. Regina Hall, Amy Schumer, and Wanda Sykes are your Oscar hosts for this year.
Yeah. Where do I know Regina Hall from?
Regina Hall, you know her from Scary Movie. You know her from
Scary Movie. Oh my God, yes. She's Disney's best friend. Oh my God, that's her.
Yeah, remember they tried to bring her. She's not dead, man. She's not really dead.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So, here's the thing. I know you love the Oscars. I have kind of been done with them, not because of the movies, just because I feel like it's just them like being preachy to us now. Like it just feels like. Am I still on?
Yes.
Okay, my screen went blank for a second there.
Oh,
I probably hit like a chord or something, but like, it get a little too preachy for me, you know. And I just kind of like roll my eyes every time. Like, my breaking point was what's his name, Joaquin Phoenix, like talking about like how cow milk, and I'm like, is this man on drugs? And I'm like, that's it. I mean, the cheeseburger. Every time I have a cheeseburger, I just think of Joaquin Phoenix crying about cows. I'm like.
Well, you know, look, obviously it is a.
And have you seen any of these movies? I saw West Side Story, Dune. I saw 25 movies this last year. West Side Story, Dune, and where's the list of the Oscar-nominated films? Here we go. I want to see Belfast.
I haven't seen Belfast. I haven't seen Coda. I saw Don't Look Up. I haven't seen Drive My Car.
Oh, I saw Don't Look Up. Yes.
I saw King Richard. I haven't seen I saw Nightmare Alley. I saw The Power of the Dog, and I saw West Side Story.
Nightmare Alley is the one I tried 6 times to go see. A lot of these movies are just hard to find because they're just so.
Nightmare Alley is on HBO Max right now.
What? Wait, really?
That's where I watched it. I watched it a couple of days ago.
No, I tried to see it last year and we couldn't afford it.
HBO Max right now.
Always like obscure, like whereas like Spider-Man is on every 2 hours, Nightmare Alley was on like 7:45 on a Wednesday, and I'm like, oh. Am I gonna, and you know, and then I don't go to the independent movie theaters. I go to the bigger ones because you know I have the AMC pass, so I can stop pretending I go to Showcase. I can finally say that. But yeah, any last thoughts about the Oscars? Are any of you guys gonna watch it?
I mean, I'm gonna watch it. Obviously, it's gonna be interesting as they always are. But I watch it because I do. You know, look, the one thing about the Oscars that I think is good is it does bring a lot of awareness to smaller films that I think should have some recognition. Yeah. Obviously,
but sometimes I feel like they go out of their way to like. I know you like Nomadland. I like the other movies. I like Judas and the Black Messiah. But I was like, I feel like the game would be like, this movie isn't that interesting. Let's make it Best Picture so other people are like, wow, maybe I'm stupid for not liking this movie. I know how they think. I have friends who are like that. They're really into that stuff. Not you, Austin.
Or even like the Parasite thing. Look, I think that's the beauty of the Oscars. Like a movie like Parasite that most American audience.
Even when I still haven't seen that movie, even though I'm into Korean dramas, I just keep forgetting to watch it.
Dude, you're missing out. You're missing out.
Right.
But no, we do have obviously it's about mid-show. And at mid-show, we do like to give a special message from our sponsors and from the great people that obviously created not only this network and this channel, but of course this great show that you're watching right now, Jivin With Jack. So
Anthony, right?
Yeah, Jack, you want to?
So as Austin was saying, we do have a message from our dear leader, and he's our sponsor, omnipotent leader and master. And I think we're going to take ourselves out and bring him in. So guys, just be respectful and solemn for this moment.
Oh, hey! Hi, I'm Ash B. Yes, the creator of Poindexter Lounge, the all-omnipotent leader of this channel. You know, over 30 years ago, I created the show Jivin With Jack. At the time, we didn't even have anybody named Jack doing the show. There we go. But you know, we had a name. And a lot could be said about having a name and doing something good with that. And so for the last 30 years, we have kept this show running. We've kept this show on the air. And you've enjoyed it, you've supported it, and it's always been here. And we're glad that you've stuck with Jivin' with Jack. So I am happy to announce that we finally got somebody named Jack to host the show. I hope that you enjoy everything that you see and don't see here on the new show. Because it's all brand new, all new cast. None of that stuff from the past. Moving forward and flushing out what's not needed. Take it away, Jack.
Yes. My evil master plan has finally come to fruition. For behold, Jack and Austin are within my possession. They will do my deeds, the prolificator of evil that I am. Come forward, Jack and Austin, and bathe in my greatness, my creative greatness that has created all of this, including you.
Yes.
Yes, the power! Ultimate power!
This is what it feels like.
This is what it feels like.
Flowing through me.
There was some ultimate power flowing through three of there.
There was, yes. I drank a lot of coffee today. If you're wondering, yes, I really was peeing.
Really?
Yes, oh yes, I was. Yes, I was. That was not a sound effect. I was creating my own sound effects, ladies and gentlemen.
I just want to say I'm honored to be here. I remember when I was a little boy 30 years ago watching Jivin' with Jack on YouTube. I said, man, I could never imagine myself being on this channel.
Being the Jack of Jivin' with Jack.
I mean, now you're not only on Jiving with Jack, but now you are the Jack.
Yeah.
Of the
I
show.
am the Jack now.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's great because, you know, like if you weren't here, it would just be me and Austin, and you know, Jack wouldn't be here. Jack would be off.
No.
Right. Be jiving with no Jacks.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want off Jack, you know,
Yeah.
or I mean, you know, just because otherwise we're just playing with ourselves.
Exactly. And it's much more fun when we play.
And if Jack is off, you know, I feel lonely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I like to jive with him. I like to jive and do a little bit, you know, jive talking, telling me lies. Oh, yeah. Does Jack have a YouTube channel? No, Jack does not have a YouTube channel because we have an exclusive deal with him. He has pledged his life completely.
His soul is
to
here.
me. His soul now belongs to Poindexter Lounge.
You could say an offer was made.
Yes. The offer of, hey, what you doing, man?
Hey, you busy?
You're good. Oh, you're thinking about going to somewhere and like doing something else? That's cool. Hey, in a couple of weeks, why don't we like once we get to know each other, why don't maybe we talk about maybe you come in here?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I made a deal. I offered him nothing. That's how good the deal was. Apparently he was getting less before, and now he was getting nothing. So whatever nothing was, folks, you know that he was getting less than that before. It was negative nothing before. Now he is getting nothing.
Now we're at the even nothing mark. We can only go up from here, people. This is good.
Unless you go backwards, and then
Listen, Enoch, I'm glad you're here because my top topic became my second topic, but I definitely wanted to talk. I know you talked about it yesterday.
Yes, our sponsors, Capital One and the WWE Visa card.
Is that your back card? Your back credit card?
No, I need to get that because I have credit.
It's a cardboard card that they sent me. Like, I don't know why. Like, Capital One's like, hey, wouldn't you like to have this WWE card? Like, not really. Okay.
Hey, you can get stone cold with the brand new WWE card.
I love how it's all it is like literally a piece of cardboard, but they still printed like it had the chip on it.
Oh, that's not a real card.
No, it's not a real card. It's it's literally like you could write on the back of it. It says "Accept today."
Oh, okay. Because I do have Capital One. I'm like, dude, if I can get a WWE version of that.
Hey, you know what? For a while, so this is a real life thing. When I was younger, I can't remember what company it was, but a company called me about a credit card, and it was because I was a subscriber to the Star Wars Insider magazine, and they knew that, and so apparently they sold my information, and this credit card company called me to get a Star Wars credit card, and I was like,
sorry.
Yeah, I can talk nothing too.
Here, and I had to double check and talk to her, say hi to her.
Oh my gosh! You know, I still have the power. Get out of here. So Jack is canceled. Seriously, I thought this guy was professional, Austin.
I did too, man.
Well, you know, he can go back to making negative nothing again.
When the boss speaks, we all shut up.
I can't afford to go back to negative nothing.
I can't afford it.
But
you gotta send me that credit one WWE card.
So I ended up with a Darth Vader credit card, and it was really funny because when the lady told me the the interest rate and everything, I was like, darn you. And she goes, what? And I said, it's a better deal than what I got right now. So I went to the Star Wars credit card. I'm like, you guys know me too well. It just sucks. Just sucks. Yeah. But no, so hey, congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
I didn't get on Brian's show last night, so I'm very, very sorry, but I will be appearing at some point on Brian's show. I love Brian, and I love these guys. So, what's that?
And you're a Star Trek fan.
I am a Star Trek fan.
Because while we were live on air, we found out that Star Trek 4 is being made with the J.J. Abrams cast, with Matt Shackman.
Did that just get announced?
Literally just got announced.
Literally while we were live, yep.
So it'll be a part 4 to
the entire cast is in talks to return.
Oh, hey, there's a new rumor. Henry Cavill's Superman returning for more films.
Oh, come on. Wait, for a second, man, he got me.
No, I'm serious. I mean, one of our friends is reporting it on his YouTube channel, but I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't seen it. It might be true.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, I've talked about this before. You know, it blows. If Henry Cavill is not doing anything right now and was a nobody, okay. But the guy is on top of the world right now. He's got a huge hit series on Netflix. He's an in-demand actor. He has automatic star power now. Why wouldn't you make another Superman movie with him? Okay, it may not be Zack Snyder's Superman, but like the guy is still the right age. He's in great shape. He's kept in shape. He's just sitting there, you know.
Heck yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You know, that's what it always is. Listen, I wanted to talk about the Super Bowl halftime show because I also got mixed reviews because some people were like, oh, it was nothing but rap. And I was like, okay. But like there was like this sort of antagonism towards it. And I've encountered this a lot because when I host trivia and I do a music round, I can do like 9 country songs. But if I do one rap song, they're like, whoa, that's a stupid round. Why'd you put that song in? It'll be like a popular rap song. Like, oh, you have to just put one rap song in there. I'm like, yeah, man. Like everyone else knows these songs. If I can put like, you know, Dean Martin in there and I can put Pat Benatar in it. But I have encountered that people react really negatively to rap music. Like, it's okay if you don't like it. Like, I went through a phase in high school where all I listened to was heavy metal. And I was like, yeah, rap sucks. I listen to Cannibal Corpse now, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you kind of grew. You get to college, everyone's listening to, oh, who's Kanye West? I like this guy, you know. But, like, a lot of the antagonism. One thing, I don't know, when they started doing California Love,
I jumped up.
I was like, it's Tupac. They're going to do the Coachella thing. Remember the Coachella thing where they hologrammed Tupac?
Oh, yeah.
I was so waiting for that to happen. I'm like, so this is Coachella. Like, they did like a hologram of him. Yeah. You know, and I was like, oh, they're going to do that. They're going to, I mean,
I was just waiting for him to make his return like in real life.
Yeah. You know what? I used to always dismiss that. But there's a lot.
He's alive.
There's a lot of weird stuff around that.
There is like all the Machiavelli stuff that he was into, and like all the stuff he was studying about people who fake their own death and all this stuff. Like it.
The day he died, so he got shot. He was on life support. The day he died, a music video comes out from his point of view, being taken to Mexico to like a church and being brought back to life. Yes. And then the official story was he was shot, taken to the hospital, like driven to the hospital. But like the news. like they have like this girl's like, yeah, like they airlifted Tupac out of here, you know, with one of those helicopter things. And like 20 years later, they like reached out to her. She's like, look, I know what I saw. And it turns out she's an actress. And I'm like, there's a lot of weird stuff like regarding his death. That's
just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. I agree.
I think it might be a little late for Elvis.
Look, people may be wondering why, like I kind of went off on a tirade the last couple of days on this subject, right? And first of all of you who are so concerned with me driving in the car, again, it's been noted. I put it somewhere else, and I turned my camera on. I have my camera hanging from my rearview mirror. So yes, if I look at my rearview mirror, it's going to look like I'm looking at the camera. I'm okay. I'm fine. And to the person who sent me, to the person from the UK who sent me a detailed description of what they think the law is in the United States regarding this, understand, you don't live here.
Yeah.
The internet is full of a lot of stuff that's not the case. Done
Real
with
quick,
that
you
rant.
say the guy
Done
from
with
the
that
UK, was he the one who used to also watch the first season that is banned from your channel?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, he's picking fights with our dear friend Integrity. Okay.
Yes. That's what I see. I know you guys were laughing in the backstage. That's why you guys are gonna have to rewatch the video that I made, because not only am I peeing, there's some funny stuff in there.
Oh, I caught some stuff. I caught some stuff.
So, but no, okay. So here's the thing. Yesterday, I wake up and look, I watched that halftime show. That halftime show was fire.
Yeah,
that halftime show was amazing.
One of the best in years, man.
Oh my god, that's what I said. It's one of the best in years, and I trolled everybody because I knew it was going to happen Sunday night. I knew it was going to happen, and so like I baited all of my white Christian friends because after I watched it, I posted on Facebook. I don't usually post on Facebook. It's been a long time since I've ever been in a Facebook rant back and forth because I just don't get on Facebook very often. I just don't have time for it.
Yeah.
So I posted on Facebook and I said, and I made sure like I had a background for it so it stood out, you know, big letters and everything. And I said, Super Bowl halftime show was one of the best in years. Of course, everybody read that as the best, which is not. Prince is probably the best. Prince was amazing. Yeah. We've had some really good ones over the last few years. Let's just be honest. We've had some really, really good ones. And then we've had some bad ones. Okay. We've had some really bad ones. But here's the deal. I woke up to a barrage of people who I used to serve in church communities. Not all of them, but some very certain people who decided to make it known. First, it was, I don't like rap. Okay. Then it was, rap isn't music. Then it was, rap isn't music because they don't sing. You ever heard of instrumental music?
Yeah.
You don't have to sing for it to be music. But okay. Then literally some lady was like, I had no idea this lady lived on an Amish community now, but apparently she lives in an Amish community. And she was like, I live in an Amish community and the Amish wouldn't listen to this. Well, no duh, but is the Amish really watching the Super Bowl either?
Right.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Cable?
You'd be surprised. I have Amish friends. They sneak TVs and stuff. Like they say they don't do that, but they love sports.
There's same stuff with like Mormons aren't allowed to drink coffee or caffeine and stuff.
And then it was rap isn't singing, and I went, no duh, Sherlock. That's why it's called rap.
But if it's not, what they're basically saying is it's easy. I'm like, if it's easy, then you try. You try to do that.
Oh yeah, because they don't know. Listen, I've worked on music my entire life, and the last two things that I've released, I work on music all the time, but the last two things that I released were my Mark Uno video, which I mean, both of these things are comical things. For instance, I've been on the channel, right? And so I released a comical diss track towards Mark Uno, which was a rap track, but it's also, very musical. I had to put it together. It has almost like a dubstep kind of beat to it, and and drops and stuff like that. And so I had to do that. And dude, that's hard.
Very
like
hard.
Coming up with stuff, layering stuff, putting music, programming music. I don't care if you're plucking a string or if you're pushing a button and like finding the right notes and the things to put in there, man, and sounds and different things. there's a lot that goes into it. My gosh, programming and all that stuff.
And not
then,
even that, but like lyrically doing that. Like when I say certain rappers have flow, like I say Notorious B.I.G. had flow. Like you have to hear that. It's hard to emulate that.
Yes.
You try to do it. Like
yes.
And you can't.
Yes, not everybody has flow. Not everybody has flow. No. And then I did the Snyder Cut song, right? Yeah. And the same thing, man, like programming music. It's look, I can play music all day long. I play music, right? I write music, but the thing is that it's very taxing. It's very intricate, and it takes a lot. It's not just pushing a button and just saying some words. And anybody who says that just doesn't understand, and you're ignorant. I'm sorry. Yeah. You're ignorant of, and that's not to insult you. Ignorance means you just don't know. So you're ignorant of the situation. But so then all of a sudden people started coming for me, because then all of a sudden they thought that I was defending the lyrical content of said music, because they didn't listen to what I said. Listen, I grew up in the 90s. I grew up in the inner city. The first time I heard The Chronic by Dr. Dre, you want to know what happened? I was standing on the corner right there at the church, and me and my friend Rusty were standing there hanging out. This guy pulls up in a red Trans Am. He's fiddling with his stereo. All of a sudden, F-bombs are being dropped. All the kinds of stuff's going on. He yanks the tape out of his cassette player. He throws it out the window, and then he like squeals off, right? Mm-hmm. And I look down there, and I'm like, dang, what did he throw out of there? I pick it up. It's The Chronic by Dr. Dre. I took it. I wound up the tape. I took a little piece of Scotch tape. I taped a little thing together, and guess what? It just happened to be that it was right at the end of the first song. So it was right after Nothing But a G Thing going into the second song. So guess what? It was cool. It was like just fine. So I fixed it, and that began my love for gangster rap. And I'm sorry, I don't make bones about. What's that?
This is something I wanted to ask you about, because I grew up in the 90s, and this is right where rap was becoming very mainstream. It existed in the 80s, but it was becoming mainstream. And I have family, most very religious. I have from the Catholic side and the Protestant side. Mm-hmm. They will be like, we do not listen to secular music. Mm-hmm. And I can't really justify it, because look, even new stuff that I think is garbage, I still enjoy. There's a song called what's it called? Like Cardi B. It is trash. But if the beat is good, I'll be saying, and it's up, and it's up, and it's up. It just gets stuck in your head. And they're like, how do you think Christ would listen to this music? And what kind of reminded me of your situation? Are you guys familiar with Dallas Jenkins? Mm-mm. He's the guy who created that show, The Chosen, which is about Christ and his disciples.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He flat out said, I watched the Super Bowl at halftime. I loved it. I loved it when Eminem saying this. And the comment section, Enosh, it was like literally someone took your comment section, copy and pasted it. You had some Christian saying, hey, you know what? It's entertainment. And to me, that's the way I look at it. Like, I love The Godfather, as you can tell, but that is not me endorsing the Italian mafia. I'm not like, I support the mafia. That's
exactly. And so that's what I was trying to get people to understand, because what my problem was people were attacking it, but the same people were attacking it, they didn't attack it when Miley Cyrus. They were saying it was the worst because it was disgusting, it was degrading, and it was sinful. Right? Was the words that I was saying, sinful and sensual and this and that. And they were saying all these things. And I'm like, well, where were you a few years ago when Miley Cyrus was literally grinding her crotch on people and like licking her lips and simulating sexual acts on stage? Where were you when Aerosmith took the stage? And yes, I love Aerosmith. They're a great band, but every stinking song that Aerosmith does is about sex. Cut and dry. Loving an elevator, living it up when I'm going down. What do you think that means?
Yeah.
I was crying when I met you. Now I'm trying to let you do what you do down on me.
Yeah. Dude, go back to Jailhouse Rock. You know that classic song from the 50s? Look at the lyrics. And it's like, number 47 said the number 3, are you the cutest jailbird I ever did see? I sure would be delighted with you pumping me. Come on and do the Jailhouse Rock with me. You're like, oh my God, that is kind of dirty. Or even like go back to like the 30s songs like Rocket 69. I was like, oh, that didn't exist back then. Oh, it did.
Or even the whole Madonna set that happened a couple years ago. That was like, whoa,
right?
This is
so none of this stuff is
I have a litmus test. Because look, where I go to trivia, you have a mix of younger people and older people. And I'm not saying this is not like an anti-white thing. I love these people. They invite me to their houses and everything.
Yeah.
But there's a litmus test to know if they hate rap music because it's black people, especially if they're in their like 50s or so. I hate rap music. But when the Beastie Boys come on, they're like, oh, the Beastie Boys were great. And I'm like, I like the Beastie Boys. I enjoy them. But like,
well, but
I
here's
don't
the
really
thing. Here's the thing. There's
consider them
always
rap.
been dirty songs. Listen, I'm like, okay, like I'm going through TikTok the other day, and Chuck Berry, right? My Ding-a-ling.
Right.
It's such a simple song, right? My ding-a-ling, I want to play with my ding-a-ling, right? So, and there's songs, man, from the 20s and the 30s by some people. Have you heard some of this stuff?
Oh,
I mean, it is straight up dirty. There's one song where like one lady, it's from like the 20s or the 30s, and this lady is singing about like she ain't singing like they're talking about here. I mean, she is describing what she is doing. And this is in the 20s and 30s. And here's the thing. There's always been this stuff from the time that cameras were invented. Do you realize they were doing porn in the 20s?
Yeah. Well,
Okay. So acting surprised and shocked, and that's how people were acting. They were shocked. And here's what ticked me off about it. Nobody said anything like The Who. I love The Who, right? I love the band The Who. Yeah. But nobody was complaining when The Who did I mean, not these people anyways. These people at this church or whatever, they didn't complain a few years ago and say that it was the worst one ever when Pete Townsend took the stage, who was literally investigated for child.
Yeah, we can't say the word.
CP.
I got a better story. Are you guys familiar with TBN?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
TBN, even though we're Catholic, I like Joel, like some of the preaching I hear on TBN. I was at my cousin's house. She always has TBN on. She won't let her kids watch Star Wars or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And the Statler brothers were on. I'm like, oh, they have a great song called Bed of Roses, and they started playing this bed of roses that I lay on. A lot of Grand Theft Auto fans might recognize that from San Andreas. The whole song is about a boy who lost his parents and was taken in by a madam who was a prostitute, takes him in, takes his virginity away, and how he still misses her, even though like he's grown up and she's gone. She was a handsome woman, just 35.
Don't get me started on TBN.
The whole song's about
Look,
being in a
as a kid who grew up with more than a healthy dose of TBN, and a grandmother who has basically every TBN giveaway that I've had to throw away over the last month going through her house because she's got keychains and trinkets and ornaments and letter openers that look like swords and stuff. I mean, look. That station right there, they've blurred the lines completely. So that stuff just ticks me out. But like that was my point in all of it was not that I condone like some of the misogyny and some of the explicit lyrics, and the violence and the sex and the whatnot. It wasn't that. It was the people that I see doing this. They love Elvis.
Yeah.
Elvis was literally so controversial that they didn't show him from the waist down.
Yeah, because it reminded them of thrusting, the shaking of the hip.
Elvis the pelvis is what they called him, and they said it was too sexual. It was vulgar. It was perverse, they said, right? But these people love Elvis, man. Well, Elvis did some gospel albums. He did some gospel albums. He loved Jesus. Okay, yeah, and he was also, banging chicks every night, okay? Yep. Let's not, okay. My grandmother dated Engelbert Humperdinck back in the late 60s, early 70s. Yes. She was friends with Tom Jones. All these people, like all these people that I was seeing love all these crooners and stuff. Tom Jones had women throwing panties at him on the stage. Do you think Tom was like, oh, thanks, guys, but I'm going to go home to my wife. I'm just going to go home to read the Bible. No, he was like, hey, these panties are great. Why don't you meet me up in my room right now, right?
Exactly.
Like, Engelbert Humperdinck was bringing chicks up on the stage, and he would make out with them on the stage. Some of them, their husbands in the crowd, put a red handkerchief around their neck, and they ended up in his bed that night. 2 and 3 at a time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's go back and listen to like Led Zeppelin's, or not Led Zeppelin. Well, Led Zeppelin, my God, was hitting naked women with fish and like all kinds of weirdness back in the 70s. And then you had people like Def Leppard, who you listen to their documentaries, and they're bragging about like, there was a mom and a daughter. Boy, they were both going to town at me, and stuff like that. Let's talk some real talk.
Motley Crue, The Dirt. Have you read that book, The Dirt? Motley Crue,
Motley Crue, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, great, that's a little more recent.
What pissed me off was nobody said anything about that. People like this other stuff, but it was a bunch of black people, and all of a sudden it was disgusting. And then they started going from I don't like rap to calling them pimps and they called them thugs, and they called them prostitutes. And that, I don't care who you are, that is insulting. If you don't like rap music, fine. I told him, hey, you were watching it. Do you have a remote control? Probably some of you got one of those old box TVs that you have to get up and go turn the freaking switch because you don't have cable or anything else. So you're getting it through the airwaves. And you know what? If that's your problem, go turn it off. Nobody's forcing you to watch. I literally was like, I'm sick of people forcing this sexual stuff down my throat. Nobody's forcing you to watch.
I don't even think it was that sexual. The only part was you had girls dancing with 50 Cent. By the way, coming soon to our merch store.
My ex-wife.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
My ex-wife, who very much is like embarrassed by like things like that or whatever. Literally, I talked to her about this yesterday, and we had a whole conversation because she was like, I thought it was great. I loved it. Like, sure, there were some women dancing and stuff, but she didn't have a problem with it. I was like, you know what?
Can I make a defense of this though? Like some people say, well, it's unclear. Art can use what would be considered vulgarity to show a reality. Justin Hines was saying something like this. And yes, you can go to scripture. Why does King Herod decapitate John the Baptist? Because Salome says, I'll do a dirty dance for you. Yeah. Or like a seduction to her own dad.
These aren't
She's
Christians,
like, all you have to do is bring me the head of John the Baptist,
right?
You know.
But Jack,
let's not even get started on Adam and Eve and the snake and the whole symbolism there. That stuff is in the Bible to illustrate a point that the times they lived in and this, you know. So
my point to them, Jack, was these guys aren't Christians. These aren't Christian artists. These aren't like somebody pulled up that picture of Snoop Dogg right before he went on how he took a puff of his blunt. Right.
Yeah.
And they literally, there was like, you're defending this. Would you take a puff of a marijuana and then go out on stage like that to minister to young kids? And I'm like, well, first of all, Snoop Dogg was not going out to minister to young kids. The meme actually said, like, the meme was like, I can't believe Snoop Dogg, like, he let me down. I was so disappointed because he was smoking marijuana. It's like, do you not know who Snoop Dogg is and what the heck he's known for?
What about Johnny Cash talking about cocaine in the 60s and the 50s?
Listen.
And shooting his wife. Great song,
Whitney Houston was literally doing bumps of crack and cocaine before she went on. And I said, so I asked this question back. I said, I don't know. Am I smoking the pot? Am I taking CBD oil? Am I taking like an edible because I have back pain or whatever? I said, oh, but you know what? I know plenty of pastors who will pop a Vicodin before they go on because they have chronic pain, right? And they'll pop a Norco or they'll pop a whatever they got to pop that the doctor gave to them because that's fine, right? And so they're okay to do that. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that either. If you got pain, do whatever. But this thing of like trying to single out people's sin and say, look, this is sin. And what ticked me off most about that one was that was a guy who was one of my leaders at one time over one of my recovery programs. And you're sitting there talking about a guy who's smoking pot, acting like it's wrong. And here's my problem with it. If you're somebody who cares about people who have addictions and stuff, why are you being that way towards somebody who obviously smokes pot, right? Like, wouldn't you care about them? And here's my other problem. All this stuff about like somebody who's like, Enosh, this old guy, oh my gosh. He's like, Enosh, did you even listen to the lyrics? Apparently not. I was like, you know what? Listen to them. I know most of them by heart because they were written 30 years ago. Yeah. You want to know something that like will blow your mind because you don't think about this? In 1985, when Back to the Future came out, right? Marty McFly goes back in time 30 years to 1955. Look at the difference between 1955 and 1985, right? Now, if we went back, if that movie was made today and Marty McFly, it goes back in time 30 years, he goes back to 1992.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is the same amount of time, folks. And this was my point. I was like, that would be like, what song came out in 1955, right? Yeah. As opposed to 1985, right? So go back and listen to your Pat Boone and your whatever, right? Back then. And so today in our society, I have a problem with this because I told him, I said, this song, they were acting like it was all new, right? Like it was like, they were literally going on about.
They probably thought it was. They
were going on about these young people these days and stuff. And I was like, these people are over 50.
Yeah.
These people are literally getting AARP things in the mail, right? They literally have to get a finger up their bum from their doctor to get checked for, colon cancer every year now. And you're acting like these are these young kids who are causing all these issues. And so I just had a problem with it. And I said, furthermore, I said, you know, if you got a problem with the lyrics, maybe you should ask the question instead of just damning that. Ask them, hey, 30 years ago, when you were a young kid growing up in South Central LA and Compton, when, you know, bullets were flying all over your neighborhood day and night, and you were scared for your life, and your friends and you were getting inaugurated into gangs because you didn't even want to be in, but you were being forced because you were being threatened for your family's life. You were in poverty and you couldn't get a job, so you did whatever you had to do, and maybe you sold drugs because that was the only way that you could get some money, right? Yeah. To care for your family, right? And to do something. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's what it is. That was the reality of it. Yep. And the only way that you thought that you had out of that, it was music. And so you wrote lyrics based on what your experience was. That's your artistic expression. And you know what? It actually clicked with the national environment that people were like, oh my gosh. And they were acknowledging this because there was all this violence. Like, listen, I support police officers. I know plenty of police officers who are awesome, wonderful people, but let's not act like the police situation in LA was great in the late 80s and early 90s. We all know what was going on. So here's the deal. Stop bitching about it.
Yeah. Look,
be real. Be real.
There are always double standards about this. Like Austin knows this. Some of them who watch the show know this. I do trivia night at a German club. Lots of first, second generation German Americans there. And I've been warned, like, listen, when you do a music round, don't play too much rap music. It kind of upsets, you know, the club members or whatever. I'm like, all right, okay. Yeah, it's a little risque. I'm like, all right, I still do it. I'll put at least one rap song on because I'm a paying club member, so they can't fire me. But then, like, they're like, hey, you want to see some photos from, like, back in the day in the 80s and 90s? And it's like a room full of all these Germans and, like, topless women. Like, it's all guys and just topless women. They're like, oh, man, those were the good old days. I'm like, okay, like, I'm not against it. I'm like, good for you. But, like, then, like, you get upset when I play, you know, Kanye West or something, like, you know, because it was too risque. I'm like, that's what was happening here 30 years ago or 25 years ago. And then to get to your point, like, you know, we talk about, oh, rap music glorifies gang culture. Everyone, I guarantee you, from your church or mine, loves movies like The Godfather, love movies that are like the old time, you know, gangster era movies, or like those John Wayne movies where, you know, they're showing violence in the old West. And no one's going to complain about that. No one's going to be like, oh, well, you know, those old Wild West movies are just too violent and there's lawlessness.
Oh, yeah. And, you know. Because, you know what? It's based on what people like. And the thing that I saw was, even though they don't want to admit it, it was racially motivated.
Yeah.
Because they're threatened by a bunch of black people saying these things, where if John Wayne was up there with a gun,
right,
shooting it off, saying, come get it from my cold dead hand. And listen, I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment. You should be able to own guns.
Yeah,
I'll have that conversation with you all day long, but I will defend somebody's right to own a gun to protect themselves. Listen, William ain't getting in here with any of my toys and getting out. So I'm just telling you. But here's the deal. These same people, these white people, wouldn't have a problem with that. Somebody being like irresponsible with all that situation, right? But they saw a bunch of quote unquote thugs running around and rapping and saying stuff that they didn't like, right? Yeah. And, you know, 1, 2, 3 into the foe. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance. So back on up, because you know we're about to rip it up. First on the mic so I can bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together. Now you know you in trouble, because ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. 2 loped out G's, so we're crazy. Death Row is the label that pays me. Unfadable, so please don't try to fade this. It's like this and like that and like this, Santa. It's like that and like this and like that, Anna. It's like this, and we ain't got no room for those. So just chill. Next episode.
Speaking of which, Snoop Dogg on Death Row.
Hey, I got some breaking news right here. Oh, hold up. Hey, Jivin with Jack, and here we go. Hold up. A Quiet Place Part 3 is officially announced. Hold up.
Oh, really?
Right here on the Poindexter Lounge. Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. But no,
Your
man,
thoughts
there's-
on
I just got
girl,
that. I
by
just
the
got
way,
that.
last
Yes.
week.
Quiet
Yeah.
Place Part 3 is officially
Oh,
announced. We
nice.
got lots of stuff to talk about
I
on the
like
overnight
that
show tonight.
second movie a lot more than the first one. I saw Quiet Place 2. I actually enjoyed it more than the first movie. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I think there's just to kind of wrap up. Yeah, no, I agree, Enosh. I think, you know, for me, like,
What do I know? I'm just a white guy.
no, look, especially like on Facebook, that's where I find a lot of these issues too and stuff. Because I don't, like, you know, I feel like I have all my, you know, Christian and church friends and all that. They're all on Facebook and stuff, and so I'm constantly seeing like.
Now, how do they feel
same.
about that? Like my relatives, like they'll be like, oh, like when they found out I was into 80s rock, it's like you listen to Judas Priest and those bands. You know, they're all actual Satanists. And
Ozzy
blah, blah, blah.
Osbourne.
When my
The
mom
Prince
heard
of
me listening to
Darkness.
Black Sabbath.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, Black Sabbath. And by the way, I'm glad that he's kind of out, but he believes in God and everything. Like
My mom heard I listened to Black Sabbath, and I got sat down and had to watch a whole documentary about the evils,
of
the demonic evils of rock and roll.
See, now I just like going back and watching those things because they're so hilarious. One of my favorite videos. You know what? I got to do a 2 cents on nonsense on this. I really do. Like, okay, because there was a guy who wrote a book in the 80s called Turmoil in the Toy Box, and he did a video series, and literally everything from G.I. Joe to Smurfs to Rainbow Bright, because Rainbow Bright had a 5-sided star on her cheek and a rainbow, and so it was gay. Although I do have to say this, I mean, there was a guy in there called Twink, but I'm just saying.
Well, yeah,
okay. I'm just saying. I mean, you know, in the Pie Man. But okay, so but I mean, literally, like they're sitting there with like, and the one guy, oh my gosh, he was from the Eagle's Nest Church, which is like it was a very popular like Pentecostal style church talking about TBN and stuff like that. And I'll never forget it because he had Snake Mountain from He-Man, and Snake Mountain had this little microphone thing that would do a voice changer thing, right? And he's on there, he's like, I am Skeletor, master of the universe. And he's like saying that like all these things have demons. They're talking about like they burned some toys and like they were screams and stuff that came out of the toys and stuff. And I'm just like, good God, the 80s.
Well, you know what's funny? Like in the early 2000s, a lot of the Christian community here in Philly that we knew were really into Lord of the Rings. They liked Lord of the Rings.
Meanwhile, my He-Man runs on.
Yeah, no, dude, Jack, you're right. Like I remember growing up, you had the family Christian bookstore. That was the
yes.
But they liked Lord of the Rings, but hated Harry Potter. I'm like,
thing at that store, I'd go in there and be like, they have the Lord of the Rings. Let's get them. It's the only thing. Yeah, I don't know why.
Harry Potter more.
It's the same thing. I think
Harry Potter. And this my guy's like, oh, let's go Buffy the Vampire. I'm like, it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Christians were all happy with the Chronicles of Narnia and the Lord of the Rings.
By the way, today we gained 7 subscribers and we officially lost 2.
Yeah.
So we're plus 5 for the day. I'm so sick of this, man. This shadow banning BS, man. It's like,
when you said we lost 2, I felt like 2 people saw this show and were like, nope, we're done. And just like,
no, probably not. I don't know. But yeah, no.
We're doing our job. If we're making people rage quit, then that's what this show is about.
That's pretty awesome if we're doing that, I guess. But you know, no. I'm okay. So the thing is, my Facebook has not been filled in a long time, right? Here's one. Halftime should not require us and our families to have to be bombarded with foul and lewd language.
They blocked it out. You can't even hear first of all, it's cable TV, so you can't say the words that they say in those songs. So you are getting the clean version. What are you talking about?
I'm not even sure anymore, man.
But I think I counted a slot. There's 2 teams that come to my trivia night. In fact, I'm going later tonight. They just hate. Like I was telling you, like you just play like 9 non-rap songs. You play 1 rap song, they get mad. I'm like, well, bring someone on your team who knows rap. And they're like, what about more music from the 60s and 70s? I'm like, yeah. When I do a music round, I balance it from like the 70s to now. But then they get mad when I play stuff in the last 30 years. They're like, no. Music from 1979 when I listen to radio. I'm like, all right. You expect young people to know, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Ooh, Resident Justice with $4.99. Thank you.
Whoa! Hey, our
Congrats
first
on the
super
launch
chat
of
on the
season
left.
2. Totally
RJ.
off
There you
topic.
go. There you go.
RJ.
Yes.
Thanks, RJ.
Now
it's
I have
now
to
it's
bump
next to
nothing.
nothing.
Now next to nothing.
RJ, you just bought
It's
me a
nothing
half of a hash
decent.
brown from McDonald's. God bless you, sir.
It's nothing adjacent now.
Yeah, nothing adjacent. Hey, that's better than nothing. Or
But
less
no,
than
thank you so much, RJ.
Thank
It
you,
says,
YouTube.
congrats on the launch. I can't speak. Congrats on the launch of season 2. Totally off topic. But what are your guys' thoughts on those new Keaton photos? Looks more and more like a reboot. I saw the photos. I don't know if Jack or Enosh have seen.
Yeah,
the photos.
I saw the photos. Jared says he had a member chat at the beginning of the stream. Oh, let me go check.
Yes, RJ, you now thank you for your super chat. You are now officially subscribed to our exclusive private Jivin With Jack's OnlyFans account. You can make requests there, and
I forgot the thong.
Oh yes, we'll be sending you. We're gonna send you, RJ. If you can go ahead and DM us your address. Thank you for a super chat. We'll be sending you an exclusive Jivin With Jack thon. As your
during a workout, and we'll just throw in a box and just send it to you.
Who had the chat for 5 months?
That was. Let me get to it.
Jared had one. Jared, yeah, you got. Unfortunately, man, you got to let us know about that at the beginning, like when you do it, because, like,
so I can go on
like
and find
right
it.
now.
Yeah.
Can you even pull up the whole chat? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I was usually that's what Caden's here for. Where Caden is off doing Caden things. He's getting
Caden's
mayo.
not even here for your first show.
No, he's not going to be here this week, which is fine because I had a specific order of how the opening went. So,
Nah, Caden's fired.
Caden's been fired. Yes. And Jared, dude, I'm looking at the chat. I cannot.
No, because it doesn't go back all the way. That's the problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because wow. Oh, hold on. Live chat, maybe. No, it'll only go back so far. It'll only go back so far. So,
okay.
You won't be able to see it until like you're like this processes, and then we can.
We'll give you a shout out Thursday. You know.
Yeah, dude. Thank you. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, StreamYard has updated a lot of things, but unfortunately, that is not one. And
I
don't
even see it on my end.
No, because it doesn't come through StreamYard, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. That's why. Okay. That's what Caden was trying to teach me about. But yeah, the Michael Keaton picks. Look, I grew up with the Michael Keaton Batman movie. I still have a Michael Keaton toys. I'm excited about that. We can't say anything about the plot until we actually see it, whether it's rebooting the universe or not. But I'm guessing was that actually Michael Keaton in the suit, or was that probably a stuntman?
Look, there's a couple things that I'm curious about. And RJ makes some good points. As soon as I saw the pictures, right, because it's Keaton's Batman interacting with the younger Gordon of J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
Right. And again, I'm not trying to be the person, that's that.
They had a different Gordon in those movies. That was Pat Hingle.
Right. And I am excited for the Flash movie and stuff, but I'm going to be really surprised. I'm going to be really surprised if they straight up like rewrite Keaton's history.
Yeah,
or make him have to deal with because we know, like in the Burton verse, Gordon's dead. Some of these characters. So for him to be coming back and interacting, like, I'm just really confused as to what the heck is the timeline here. What is going on? Like, and RJ says
after
younger Gordon interacting with the younger Keaton looks more and more like the history of the DCU is being rewritten to where Keaton was the Batman running around. Very interesting.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I think that's a stretch. I think it's a stretch. I don't think we can get that from those pictures. I think that it's in its own universe. It's in what it's thing. This is what I think that the DC universe going forward is going to be so disjointed, and it's not going to be all together. People are going to be in different universes and crossing over and doing all these things. And so this is going to be a history of the Keaton Batman, and they can't bring the dude back who played
Gordon. Yeah, Pat
Gordon
Hinkle
in the
guy.
movies, and so yeah, they had options for Simmons, right? And so
Yeah.
why wouldn't you bring him back? He was awesome. Like, he was amazing. People wanted to see more of him. So of course, and you got, listen, they know that they have an upward battle. I literally just had a talk with a guy in the Flash movie who talked about how he knows that there's an upward battle, and he knows that there's people out here who are fighting it and just being a-holes about it, right? So they understand that. Okay, they're not stupid. I was also surprised to find out like how much of the stuff was his idea.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
He wrote a version of the script.
He did write a version, and
studio, I'm sure that it's not the one that the studio.
I'm just saying
he
that
wrote it. He wrote it with the comic creator.
That he did, and he mentioned him to me about how there's many other stories that he would like to bring to life, and I think that would be great. Like, by that guy, right? By what's his name? I'll just look at the message here.
Yeah, I say
because I forget. But no, you know. But the point is, Grant Morrison. Okay, so but here's the thing. Not only that, but you know the scene in the Flash TV show where where a certain other Flash comes in. That was his idea.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I found that very interesting. Just saying.
So
listen. So they know that it's a new timeline. It's that timeline, dude. Listen. They ain't throwing everything away. That's it. That's all. I'm just saying, they're not throwing everything away. The sky is not falling. The world is not ending. The universe is not ending because there's more than one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Multiverse for a reason.
Yeah.
They want to be able to tell stories that don't go together, that have no continuity with each other, right? They want to be able to tell the Batgirl story with Keaton's Batman over here, and then be able to tell a completely different story that does not have to go along with this, that is about Batman, right?
Yeah.
But a different Batman, like we got Pattinson, right? They want to be able to tell these different stories. So look, that Batsuit looks killer. Look,
you know what's funny?
I fully disagree with Dawson on all of this, because like, even though I don't want Keaton to be the main Batman going forward, because I don't think that makes sense. I don't think that that's what we're getting. We're going to get flashbacks of him because they got to tell the story of like, of you know, like those younger years between Gordon and Batman, and how his daughter comes up. We see that there's flashbacks, obviously, because you see a young Barbara Gordon, right? There's been pictures now of the family with Barbara Gordon as a little girl, right? So they're going to tell that story. So obviously she's inspired by Batman. How much is he even going to be in it? We don't know.
Wants to know if we can show the photos. I think sometimes if you show photos like that, it can get taken down.
No, we can show them.
We can show them. Okay.
Yeah,
anyone have them?
I don't have the new ones. I don't have the new ones. I have the ones from the other day.
That's what I've seen. But you know, it's funny, the fandom is kind of upset about this. If like 20 years ago you had told me that you're going to get multiple Batman in 1 year, different movies, different stories, multiverse, I would have gone nuts.
I got him.
This is something we always wanted. Like, hey, we got 3 Spider-Man. We're going to have 3 Batman next year. We got Robert Pattinson. We're going to see Affleck again. Affleck is my personal favorite at the moment, even though Keaton's like right there. I mean, I grew up with Keaton. Look, there is a very strong possibility that this movie does do what our worst nightmares are. It erases the Snyderverse. Let's say everything, crazy theory, that Keaton becomes a new Batman moving forward, et cetera, et cetera. It does everything we don't want it to do and is still a good movie. And that would be a hard pill for a lot of us to swallow, which is why, like, I'm not a big fan of the boycotting. I'm definitely seeing Batman opening weekend. I got my tickets already. I'm taking the family, and I'm going to go see The Flash. And if The Flash sucks, Austin, you know, I'm going to go after it. I'm going to be like, this sucked. There we go.
Bam.
Oh, they changed up the suit. They made it more leathery. Okay. Because he used to have like a basic rubber suit.
So this is the main one right here. This is where Batman got COVID. And, where he's trying not to give COVID to Batgirl.
Right, yeah, he's like, that's why his hands up. Stay away.
Stay away.
Back
stay
up.
away.
6 feet.
So here's Gordon, got a gun on
Red
somebody.
hair. I like the nice. It's good.
See, that architecture reminds me a lot of the Tim Burton movies. They kind of had like, well, then again, that's why they're filming in Scotland.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So you got that. There's Batman
Oh,
coming in.
it's so crazy to see that cowl again.
But you know,
And
here's
it
the
does
thing.
look
Here's the thing.
like there's some changes. It looks like he can turn his head.
Yeah, well, that
Yeah, they changed
that
the
mouth.
costume, definitely.
I don't know what that mouth do, but that ain't Keaton's mouth. So
No,
Well,
And I-
if you ever
so
go
this
back
is
and
all-
watch the Michael Keaton movies, you can tell when it's obviously not him.
and
Like, when
RJ said, I think
it's
this is a
like,
flashback of a younger Keaton
yeah.
too. So this is going to be, who knows? Maybe they'll de-age him or whatever.
I mean, this is cool. This is cool. Don't
But
get
you know
me
what?
wrong.
I'm going to ruin something. Go watch the warehouse fight. It's very clearly that's not Ben Affleck when they show him. You can tell it's not Affleck doing all that stuff. If you know an actor well enough, that's not that. That's always been the case with the
The
Batman
pants
movies.
look a little baggy.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, the original
I
suit was a
don't care for
nightmare.
this. Whatever this armor, shoulder pad thing is.
Well,
and,
the original suit was a nightmare. Like it was all rubber stiff, so they probably made it so it's more
but it
maneuverable.
looked awesome.
Yeah.
That original
That
suit.
original suit looked amazing. I'm
And I'm
sorry.
glad they're bringing the longer ears back. The one thing I didn't like about the Nolan movies or the Affleck movie, I don't like the short ears. He looks like
So this is the one thing that I think is weird. Yeah, zoom in on this, Enosh.
Yeah.
You can see. Look at his chest.
yeah, his
It's-
chest is
it's-
kind of like crumpled.
It's back to the leathery thing, kind of like you said. It's all wrinkly.
All of these DC costumes nowadays are all frumpy and like crumpled. Superman in Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
The suit is all crumpled like a sweater. Look at
Yeah,
these
well-
pants. Look at these pants. Look at this crotchal region right here,
Yeah.
where he's got the crotchal region. I said,
If we examine the crotchal region here, John Campia.
Yes.
Let's take a look at Toby.
Look at
Maguire's-
that man's penis.
That is Michael Keaton's crotch right there. If I
This
can
is
tell
not
you one-
Michael Keaton's crotch, but you can imagine what Michael Keaton's crotch looks like by looking at this. And
This
I'll
has
be
a
honest with
very
you,
Batman Forever. Remember Batman Forever really went
It
with
does.
the leather and it kind of glistened a little bit. Like
Even when you go back to that
reminds me of
photo,
that leather.
Enosh, it's a little, yeah, exactly. It's a little lighter. It's a little like there's like a, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. There's a Batman Forever-ish feel to this suit.
But it's got the symbol from the '89 film, which is interesting. Very interesting. I can tell all the way from back here.
Easy,
but yeah.
Anchorman. Easy.
what now?
Let's not get carried away now.
Yeah, you know what? Anthony's saying that's a stunt double suit. That might be a suit that they have for a quick action scene where you're not paying attention to it. Where like while they're fighting, they use a different suit. When they're just actually, not fighting, they will use a different.
This is the penis extensuator suit.
Yeah.
This is when they want to accentuate his penis in his crotchal region. I'm trying to find.
Oh, Affleck. I'm not gonna lie. Keaton is not that tall. I think he's 5'9".
Yeah, he's not.
Which
that
isn't short, but it's like short for. He's not tall. He was cast. Tim Burton cast him because of his eyes. He's like, I like Keaton's eyes, and there's no joke. If you see like a picture of Batman. By the way, someone asked about which Harvey Dent would we see. I don't think we're going to see Harvey Dent in this, but they are doing a Batman 1989 comic, in which it is Billy D. Williams' persona that they're using. But I don't know how much canon that is. I know they say it's canon, but then like, I've shown this photo so many times, but Tim Burton literally said I cast Michael Keaton because of his eyes. He's got these piercing blue eyes, and unfortunately, when I'm using StreamYard,
what I think was going on here is we're getting the MC Hammer version of the bat suit.
oh yeah,
Do that.
I was joking, Anchorman. Just so you know, I was joking. You're good.
let Anchorman have his fun.
No, I said penis all the time. It's fine.
See, it's coming up here.
There we go.
Oh,
I want to see that in the MCU.
hey now.
It's MC Hammer in the MCU. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. I mean, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong, man. It brings back all kinds of memories. It looks like the bat suit from back in the day. We're going to talk about this tonight, by the way, on the show. But yeah, so we'll be looking
Midnight
at
Lounge?
and on the Midnight Lounge, and we'll be talking about a lot.
By the way, I just want to show a picture of Keaton from that '89 film, and just how intense his eyes are.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's not a good quality one,
Heck
but like,
yeah.
Like he just had this intense look, like he acted through his eyes, something that a lot of the subsequent actors haven't been able to do, and that's why Burton cast him. But yeah, I love that cowl. That's after his plane crash. There was something about that '89 film. It's not perfect. Batman does kill, but like, damn, the score, the action. A lot of people don't know how much of a big deal that movie was when it came out. It wasn't like, oh, it came out and 2 months later people forgot about it. It was talked about for years. I remember like in the early 90s, it'd be like this Thursday on NBC, Batman. And like, it would be a huge movie night. Like it would do high in the ratings because like, getting a movie like that on network TV was a big deal. Like they would clear out the block and stuff like that, Yeah. But it was a huge hit. The VHS was expensive, my dad said, because VHS was still kind of new. They weren't like $20. They were really expensive back then. Do you remember that, Enosh? Like when VHS first came out, that they were really expensive.
Heck yeah, man! Like $800-900.
Yeah. That's why video stores became popular. People who like love Batman, they wouldn't buy it. They would go every Friday and rent it. We used to do that when I was a kid. Like every couple weeks, I was in nursery school.
Yep.
Like, Batman. He would just go rent it again. It was cheaper to rent it every other weekend to shut me up and put me in a corner and watch the movie than to actually buy the movie.
Yep.
Of course, now things are different. I still haven't bought the Batman 4K yet. I'm waiting for the price to drop. It's like $30. I'm like, I just bought Scarface for $15. So I'm like, come on, get a little bit lower.
Just bring it down just a little bit, baby.
A little bit.
Just bring it down a little bit.
Down a little bit. Real quick, Enosh, are you a wrestling fan from the 90s?
Nah.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh boy.
Okay. Well, let's move on to Lord of the Rings then. All right.
Let me tell you who is one time right now, because you see, you don't know that much about the Poindexter Lounge if you don't know that Enosh is into wrestling. Oh, yeah. Enosh is a long-time wrestler, doing a lot of things over here, Jack. Come on, man. Jack,
I know you like the old. Okay, all right.
Jack.
Yeah.
Are you the cream? Are you the cream? Are you rising to the top? I don't think you're rising to the top one time there, Jack. No, you're like that punk Hogan. You're like that punk Hogan hanging over there jacking by himself, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. Oh, yeah. And the one thing that you don't want to be doing is jacking by yourself. Because when you're jacking by yourself, you're going to be in a bad situation. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in. Yeah. But the cream rises to the top. Even when you're jacking it in San Diego. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right, because the Macho Man knows a South Park reference. I know my way around it. Yeah, upside, downside, backside, right side. Doesn't matter. The Macho Man and the madness is coming for you, Jack. Dig it?
Do you dig it?
Let The Rock say this, you Rudy.
It doesn't matter what you get to say there, Rock. Got something for you right here. Yeah.
The Rock
Kiss
says
my
you can
star.
take your underwear,
Kiss it.
take your
Kiss
cream,
my star right there.
turn it sideways, and stick it straight up.
Big time wrestling fan.
That's our transition button.
Big time
So
wrestling fan.
for like the 50th time in the last 20 years, there are rumors that WWE is trying really, 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 really hard to bring Stone Cold Steve Austin back for WrestleMania.
No.
He has been gracious about it. He's like, nope, I had my last match. His last match was at WrestleMania against The Rock. It ain't going to get better than that. He's 56 years old. He stayed out of the ring. I know a lot of people are excited about this. First of all, I don't think he's going to do it because he's done.
Nah.
He's done. He had his run, and he's been awesome about it. There's no amount of money they can pay him to make him come back. But they want him to come back for WrestleMania 40, 39, 38. I don't know where it is, but it would bring more people to watch it. But
Oh God.
Cody Rhodes, baby. Oh, I feel bad for Cody Rhodes, man. I actually like him, but he is just not winning people at the moment.
I mean, come on. I love Stone Cold. Don't get me wrong, all right? I love Stone Cold. But
Oh,
this
this
stupidity of, hey, we got nothing better to do, so let's bring back an old wrestler.
Mhm.
because we're not developing any new wrestlers or making them interesting
they're not.
at all.
Since Cena, they produced a lot of stars, superstars. They haven't produced a megastar. When I say a megastar, I'm saying someone who doesn't even watch wrestling knows who that is. Like during the era of these guys, when I was a kid, you didn't watch wrestling. You knew, but they knew who Stone Cold was. They knew who The Rock was. They were just that big. They don't seem to have the ability to produce a megastar. The last one is John Cena. And when they become that big, they move on. They go on to film and television, and they have bigger careers. They're not going to stay stuck in wrestling. And as much as I love Stone Cold, I don't think he'll do it. I've listened to his podcast a lot. He said, "Look, I had my time. I'm done." He can't move the same way he could. I mean, he's still in great shape. He still works out. That's good for him. But he's not going to look good at age 56 trying to move around with a 32-year-old.
Exactly.
And
who are they going to have him fight? I mean,
Kevin Owens. They're trying to create an angle with him and Kevin Owens. Now, in the recent years, they brought Stone Cold back to cut a promo, and he'll stun someone, and that's it. Yep. That's entertaining. But if you're going to actually put him in a match, look, no, I don't think you should. Look what happened to Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels ended his career at WrestleMania fighting The Undertaker in what is considered one of the greatest matches of all time. But then the Saudi royal prince gave him a lot of money to come back at age 60 or whatever to fight with Triple H, who's getting slow, against The Undertaker, who's moving really slow. And then they paid Mayor Kane to stop being mayor for a night. And I don't know if you ever saw that pay-per-view they did about 2 years ago, and Shawn Michaels looked terrible. I mean, look, he's still in better shape than I am, but it's quite clear he's in his late 50s. He should not be in the ring. It didn't look good. You had four men whose combined age was 200. Or, that's not a good thing. And I love Stone Cold. I would hate for him to come back for an insane amount of money and just to look at him and be like, oh, man, he was so cool 20 years ago, That's how I feel about it. Like, I love Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I hope he says no. Maybe come back, cut a promo, stun someone, and leave, with one of these shirts on, Austin 316. But don't come back for a full match. He's going to put on the tights again, the black. I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't work, but like, dude, your last match was against The Rock at WrestleMania. Very few wrestlers can say. Does anyone remember Ric Flair's last match? Like no one does. Like he's one of the greatest. Like that's a hell of a way to end your career. Cody got money. Aaron, I hope he doesn't. Maybe he'll do like where Kevin cuts a promo, Austin stuns him, drinks some beers, and leaves. That's okay. Yeah, he'll be a trainer. Is Cody going back to WWE?
He just left AEW, so I don't think we know yet.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, there was a big deal today. Khan posted a letter thanking him and stuff for everything, and talking about how they were there at the beginning and helped start it and all that good stuff. Yeah,
that's a shame. Well, you know what? I don't know if he'd want to go back to AEW. And now that they have CM Punk, they have like a bona fide wrestling star there now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But yeah, they're thinking of bringing back Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're talking about that on the show, and I'm like, I hope he doesn't do it. No, we're still live. I'm informing you as well, since you're technically listening to the show. Tizai Siri says, "Come!"
Sweet.
Might go to NWA. Yeah, that'd be interesting if he does that. But I'm a huge Stone Cold fan. I still rep Stone Cold. My ringtone is the Stone Cold Steve Austin thing. I love him, but I don't want to come back see him like kind of struggling. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, look at Hogan. Hogan wrestled way past his prime, and like for the longest time, you just pictured him moving really, really, really slow. Okay, we have one more topic to go over. I'm going to have all of you here for it, so that's pretty good. And this is what happens when we don't have Caden, because I usually tell Caden to get the transition button ready. Any last thoughts about Stone Cold?
I like his name.
Oh, yeah, Stone Cold. You know how he got the name?
Huh?
You know how he got that name? They were giving him terrible names like the Executioner and all this other crap, and he couldn't think of a name. And then his wife's like,
Austin, but Steve Cold is cool too.
Oh, yeah, but they were like, she's like, drink your tea before it gets Stone Cold. And she's like, that's your name. Like, just hit her, like his wife at the time, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So we are going to talk a little bit about the Lord of the Rings.
Shut it down. It's woke. Shut it down.
Everything is woke these days. We know that. But the question is, will it be good? I think everyone has the expectation that this has to be the caliber of the films. And I'm going to tell you right now, it won't be.
Oh, I think it will.
It'll be. Of the original three films. I don't know if that's what's going to happen with this.
I do. I think.
Really?
Oh yeah, I think that's the only reason the Tolkien estate sold it. I mean, look, there's been a lot that's come out as far as like the show, for example, they cannot do anything that takes away from what the movies have already done. Everything has to match up with the movies, even the look and the tone of the show.
Look and tone looks very Peter Jackson,
Peter Jackson films and stuff. They have the original composer from the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, doing the score and stuff. I do think this is going to be the biggest live action TV event probably ever put on screen yet for TV. Oh yeah, dude, $1 billion on the budget. They shot for almost a year, the entire season. They held no expense. They went all out.
No, I'm not talking about the expense. I just hope the story will be really well written. Because you're talking about books that Tolkien spent years writing, being reinterpreted, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to match that. It's sort of like the first 5 seasons of Game of Thrones versus the next 3. The first 5 are based on the books. The next 3 were just kind of like, George R. R. Martin saying, "Well, this is what happens. Write a script. Good luck."
Get out of here, Meta.
Enter the bat wheels will be better.
Don't you dare come at me with that bad juju. Let's see here. No, it doesn't. Yes, Monkey Jivas. The creators. Everybody has come out.
Yeah, this is connected.
This is connected to the films. This is considered canon.
Yeah.
To the original Lord of the Rings films. Again, that part of the deal when Amazon bought the Tolkien estate was that they cannot do anything that changes what the films did or changes the lore of the films. Everything has to match up. So, which I think that's a great, that was a great.
Honestly, I think that's a smart decision because most people know Lord of the Rings because of the movies, not so much the books. That sucks, but the even if they tried to say, "Oh, this is not connected to the movies," it'll be connected to the books. It's still people are going to compare to the movies and be like, "Whoa, I think it's a smart decision. The movies are a worthy successor to the books. I think that's very rarely said, but it's so well done. Those 3 movies, all 3 nominated for best picture back when people watched the Oscars.
Interesting. RJ says IDKY, but the show and the trailer looks cold. It lacks the warmth of the Lord of the Rings. I feel like you're just saying that because it's winter in most of the trailer. I don't know what that. Hold on, RJ. I'm very curious. As to what you mean by the warmth of the Lord of the Rings.
Is it the music? Because the music, I didn't notice anything impressive. Because even the original film had that music.
Warm, as in like happy, or like the Lord of the Rings isn't necessarily like a happy-go-lucky story. You know what I mean?
No, but it is. I hope they're not going to make it edgy. I hope they don't go like full Witcher or Game of Thrones with this, because that would be like a spit in the face to Tolkien's work.
I don't know that look, this shouldn't be like Game of Thrones, right? Where everybody's having sex and all that type of stuff. Yeah, there is.
Oh, they cut back on The Witcher. Did you see The Witcher season 2?
Yeah.
They cut back on that a lot.
Right. So the connection are a couple of characters that lived in both eras, and I'm sure. Look, there's been a lot of talk, man. Like if this show is successful, the things that they can do. Viggo Mortensen has come out and said, "I'm down to play Aragorn again in a like flash forward quick sequence type thing. Nothing that's like, oh, this is, but like something like that. So there's a lot of potential, I think, for these films and for this franchise. You see the anime that's gonna happen. No metaverse. I searched my feelings, and let me tell you, my feelings came back with Batwheels is trash. It's trash. It should not be made. Let's see. Yes, and Monkey, that just also goes to show you how also mismanaged Warner is. Warner owns the movies. New Line is doing the anime, and the Tolkien estate wants nothing to do with it. Wants nothing to do with Warner Brothers for the.
Can you imagine that this is what they do to Lord of the Rings? Like, let's make it hard and edgy, like they did with Star Trek.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's not.
And by the way, I'm not a prude. Anyone who watches the show knows that I'm not. But when it comes to Lord of the Rings,
Game of Thrones and The Witcher are phenomenal for what they are. And you know, like it's. I understand some people don't like to, you know, to watch them. That's fine and all that, but it makes sense in that world with the with the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's like you said. I'm not looking forward to a Hobbit getting it on, you know, or anything like that.
The two hobbits in the kitchen, they're getting it on, and they won't leave till 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning.
2 hobbits, 1 Gandalf. But
I got a pocket full of rings, and my homies do too. So what you want to do?
So right. So it says here. Let's see. The animated movie that's coming up will be connected to the movies, but the series from Amazon is its own thing. So Monkey, there's been several articles and papers and things, even when the sale went through and stuff. It's connected. The series, the Amazon series, will be. And I guess you're right, because it's thousands of years before. The connection's going to be little, but it's canon. It is canon to the theatrical Lord of the Rings films. You know, same with the anime that they're doing.
They might have to hesitate on using some of the characters from the films if they wanted to. I think is Lord Elrond going to be in this? I mean, would he be alive for this? Yeah, the Forging of the Ring.
You know, I don't know. I don't know who. There's a lot of potential. You know, obviously we saw Galadriel. You know, or Gadriel, and we're gonna see her character.
I heard Gangrel's gonna be in it.
Gangrel, dun dun dun. He had the coolest opening with the Brood. Dun, 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 dun.
You're welcome.
WWF Volume 3.
You're welcome.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh boy. So
I like that. But Amazon wants you to believe it, but also Token probably wouldn't have sold it to Amazon if that were the case.
Yeah.
Tolkien is they're very what do you say, they protective of,
very
of the
protective.
I heard that they just didn't care anymore.
Yeah, they gave up.
They ran out of money. Like, we need some more money.
They gave up. They were like, you know what, somebody do something.
Grandchildren.
That's what I heard. I heard that they were just like, screw it, we don't care, we don't like Tolkien anymore, he was overrated. We don't like Grandpa's stuff.
We don't like exactly. We need to update it for modern audience.
Grandpa had weird things about elves and stuff. We don't get down with that anymore.
Yeah. A lot of the characters from The Hobbit, except for
was Gandalf alive? We know Gandalf is old, but is he elf old?
No, yeah, and that's the thing. Jedi of Chicago. No, Galadriel. You know, Kate Blanchett's character from the movies, from what is in this series.
Oh, is she? Because you mentioned that. I'm like, is it the same actress? Yeah. Okay.
That character of jump when she's like ice climbing an ice whatever.
Yeah.
That's her. That's young Galadriel.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying Kate Blanchett was in this series. I'm like, oh, is she? You know.
Yeah. No. So yeah, for the most part, yeah. You know, you're not going to see hobbits. You're not going to see. We know Gandalf is alive.
But I want to see hobbitses.
Not going to see Gollum.
Hobbitses need to be seen.
That's a horrible Gollum, by the way. Thank you.
But they don't. He says they don't care anymore. Christopher Tolkien died, and they don't care.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, you don't know the younger ones. They could be like the Kennedy grandchildren who are just always getting into like drunk fights at the bar and.
I mean, like I said this last night, like I love just like the universe. It very much like with the Matrix, right? Just the whole thing of elves and dwarves and magic and rings and power and Sauron and all of this stuff and prophecies and all of that. Like all of that stuff.
And walking and
walking, all the walking
and dialogue and stuff that could have been handled within a half hour and stretched out to 3 hours.
Over the course of 3 films.
Did you ever see the Lord of the Rings, the animated film, which is like 90 minutes, and they just crash everything together? Well, it's about
you know, they tell a compelling story and get in and out, and you're done, and you feel like you got the rest of your day. Yeah, I remember that.
Right. But
I'm sorry. I can't stand Lord of the Rings.
Really?
I don't like Lord of the Rings.
That's why you've been like oddly silent.
It's gonna be the most expensive television series of all time that Enosh doesn't watch.
Right? Yeah.
So there you go.
discover. That's why you expanded to the Pantheon so that we could
exactly. So people could get their hobbitses on and have some fun, and I wouldn't have to watch it.
So unfortunately, I actually have to head off to work. But I think this is a pretty good first episode.
Hey, we did it.
We did it. I was here.
You were here, yes. Yes.
I took a long pee. It was good.
Yeah, very good.
Right. We got some good sponsor video.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah. It's good.
Exactly.
It was good.
It's very good. So tomorrow night, Austin, you have your show, right?
Yeah. So no, actually, so next, not this Wednesday. So not tomorrow night. The Wednesday after. Or every other Wednesday, we got the greatest people I've ever met here, and then that other Wednesday slot is also to be filled. I know Enosh will be making some announcements.
It's still coming together. So we're doing the thing.
Cool. And then we got the Midnight Lounge tonight, right?
Yep. Midnight Lounge.
The Midnight Lounge will be in full effect tonight. Yes.
All right.
Yes, with hobbitses and all kinds of fun stuff. Yes.
Yep.
We'll be talking about all the cool news for the cool kids.
That's right.
Right. All the cool news. So make sure, folks, you stay around for that. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank Enosh. First of all, I do want to thank Enosh for helping me with the transition and moving everything over here. I want to thank for Austin, my co-partner. I want to thank Caden for not being here. That's probably why our numbers are so good for the first episode when he comes. I love you, Caden. I know Caden's moving on he's doing big things. He'll be back. And then he can start clicking all these buttons and everything. But I do appreciate it, Enosh. I want to thank you.
Hey, man.
I want to thank Austin. I want to thank all of you who transferred over. I appreciate it. I saw a lot of familiar names. I really, really want to thank you guys. And I want to thank, great to meet all the new people. Well, not new to the channel, but new to me. But thank you so much. And I guess we will see you guys on Thursday. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Get jivin'.